Cognitive distortions at dusk is a phenomenon that unfolds as the day gives way to evening, when the waning light and mounting fatigue subtly reshape our inner landscape. As our bodies signal the need for rest, our mental faculties, especially those responsible for clear and balanced thinking, begin to tire, leaving us vulnerable to an amplification of our inherent biases. In these moments, even the most benign thoughts can spiral into overwhelming distortions, where minor setbacks are reinterpreted as signs of deep-seated failure or looming catastrophe. At dusk, the brain's prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational thought and self-regulation, starts to lose its grip due to fatigue. This weakening allows the more primitive, emotionally reactive parts of our brain to take over, triggering a cascade of automatic negative interpretations. A fleeting worry or a simple moment of self-doubt, when filtered through this tired lens, can quickly evolve into an intense internal critique, a process known as catastrophizing. What might once have been a passing thought now becomes a persistent narrative of inadequacy that distorts our perception of reality. The very ambience of dusk plays its part. As natural light fades and shadows lengthen, the external world seems to mirror our inner state of diminishing clarity. The soft, diffused light can evoke feelings of uncertainty and introspection, making it easier for our minds to fill in the gaps with exaggerated fears and anxieties. This symbolic interplay between light and dark reinforces the notion that dusk is not merely a time of physical transition, but also a period when our mental defenses are more easily breached. Moreover, the intensity of these cognitive distortions can vary greatly from one individual to another, influenced by overall mental health, stress levels, and even genetic predispositions. For some, the quiet of the evening offers a gentle opportunity for reflection and creative thought, a chance to sift through the day's experiences and glean insights. For others, however, the same hours might usher in a storm of negative self-talk and self-criticism, where every perceived misstep is magnified into a personal failing, feeding a cycle of worry and self-doubt. It is crucial to understand that these distortions are not signs of personal weakness, but natural responses to the interplay between physical exhaustion and our cognitive processes. Our brain, when fatigued, tends to rely on mental shortcuts, heuristics that have evolved to help us make quick decisions. While these shortcuts are invaluable in many contexts, they can become liabilities in a tired state, skewing our judgment and causing us to misinterpret events. The result is a feedback loop in which one negative thought spawns another, gradually eroding our confidence and distorting our overall outlook. Recognizing this interplay opens the door to proactive strategies that can help mitigate the impact of fatigue on our mental state. One effective approach is the practice of mindfulness, which encourages us to observe our thoughts without immediate judgment. By fostering a sense of present moment awareness, we create a buffer that allows us to notice the early signs of cognitive distortion before they snowball. This mindful observation can serve as a crucial pause, a moment to question whether a negative thought is a transient reaction to tiredness or a true reflection of reality. Similarly, cognitive behavioral techniques offer structured methods to challenge and reframe these distorted perceptions. By actively questioning the validity of our negative thoughts and considering alternative, more balanced interpretations, we can gradually weaken the hold of these mental biases. For instance, when confronted with an internal narrative of impending failure, pausing to remind oneself of past successes or the impermanent nature of the moment can disrupt the cycle of catastrophic thinking. In embracing these strategies, we acknowledge that the distortions magnified at dusk are not fixed truths, but rather temporary reflections of a fatigued state. This realization can be empowering. It reminds us that our mental processes are dynamic and adaptable, capable of change with intentional effort and self-compassion. By cultivating habits that promote mental clarity, such as adequate rest, mindfulness, and deliberate reframing, we not only counteract the effects of fatigue, but also build a resilient mindset that can better navigate the ups and downs of daily life. Ultimately, cognitive distortions at dusk invites us to re-examine the relationship between our physical energy and our mental clarity. It challenges us to see the twilight not as a harbinger of inevitable decline into negative thought, but as a critical juncture, a time when we are most in need of and most capable of reclaiming a balanced perspective. As the day draws to a close and the shadows lengthen, we are presented with an opportunity to recognize the temporary nature of our cognitive biases and to embrace the possibility of renewal. By doing so, we transform the potentially overwhelming distortions of our tired minds into a stepping stone toward greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Dreamscapes and Mental Landscapes is an invitation to journey into the hidden corridors of our inner world, a realm where the logic of everyday life gracefully steps aside to allow the vivid hues of emotion and imagination to take center stage. As we drift into sleep, our minds embark on a surreal voyage through landscapes shaped by memories, desires, and the mysterious language of our subconscious. In this twilight realm, the familiar rules of time and space dissolve into a fluid tapestry of symbols, where a fleeting image or a simple sensation can open portals to insights that resonate with the deepest parts of our being. In these dreamscapes, everyday experiences transform into a kaleidoscope of imagery that defies conventional interpretation. A winding path might evoke feelings of anticipation and mystery, while an unexpected encounter with a long-forgotten face could stir up dormant emotions, urging us to explore hidden aspects of our personality. Here, in the interplay between light and shadow, our subconscious crafts a narrative that is uniquely our own, one that speaks in metaphors and whispers truths that often elude our waking consciousness. The surreal nature of these mental landscapes is what makes them so compelling. In the absence of rigid logic, the mind is free to traverse realms where contradictions coexist and where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blur. It is a space where abstract symbols, like shifting clouds, endless corridors, or luminous orbs, carry layers of meaning that invite us to question the nature of our inner life. This fluidity is not merely a whimsical escape from the mundane, it is a profound expression of our inner world, a mirror reflecting the emotions and experiences that define who we are. As we navigate these realms, we come to realize that the journey through our dreams is as much an exploration of emotion as it is of memory. The vivid colors and dynamic scenes that unfold during our slumber are imbued with the raw power of our feelings: joy, sorrow, fear, hope, all intermingling to create a narrative that transcends the boundaries of rational thought. In this space, emotion takes precedence over logic, offering us a deeper, more intuitive understanding of ourselves. It is through these nocturnal wanderings that we might discover aspects of our identity that remain hidden in the structured routines of our daily lives. Yet, the beauty of these dreamscapes lies not only in their mystery, but also in their ability to inspire creativity and self-reflection. Throughout history, artists, writers, and thinkers have drawn upon the surreal imagery of dreams to fuel their creative endeavors, capturing the essence of a world where the ordinary is transformed into the extraordinary. This rich interplay between dream and reality serves as a reminder that the mind's capacity for creativity is boundless, capable of weaving narratives that challenge our perceptions and expand our understanding of what is possible. The journey through mental landscapes also offers a unique opportunity for healing and personal growth. By paying attention to the symbols and themes that arise in our dreams, we can gain valuable insights into our inner struggles and aspirations. Each dream, with its ephemeral yet potent imagery, provides a snapshot of our subconscious, inviting us to engage in a dialogue with ourselves. In this dialogue, we learn to embrace the ambiguous nature of our thoughts, recognizing that the messages embedded in our dreams are not fixed truths, but rather fluid reflections of our emotional state. As dawn approaches and the vivid scenes of the night begin to fade, we carry with us fragments of these dreamscapes, a lingering sense of wonder, a new perspective on an old concern, or perhaps even a burst of creative inspiration. These remnants of our nocturnal journeys serve as gentle reminders that, even in the realm of logic and reason, there is always room for the mystical and the unexplainable. They encourage us to integrate the lessons of our subconscious with the clarity of our waking minds, forging a bridge between the emotional and the rational that enriches our overall experience of life. In embracing the surreal realms of dreams and subconscious musings, we are invited to let go of the constraints of linear thought and to open ourselves up to the full spectrum of our inner world. It is a journey that challenges us to honor the enigmatic language of our emotions and to trust in the power of our intuition. By doing so, we learn to appreciate the beauty of uncertainty and the transformative potential of our own imagination, a realization that, in the end, the most profound insights often arise when logic takes a back seat to the boundless realm of feeling. Unraveling Reality invites us to reflect on the elusive nature of existence, a contemplation that grows deeper as we recognize the futility of trying to fully grasp the totality of what is. As we navigate the complexities of life, we find that every attempt to pin down reality with definitive answers only serves to highlight its inherent transience. The more we scrutinize its details, the more we uncover layers of ambiguity and contradiction, each revelation deepening the mystery rather than resolving it. In our daily lives, we strive to impose order and structure upon a world that resists such containment, a world that is ever-changing and full of surprises. Our tools of logic and reason, though indispensable, seem inadequate when faced with the vast, fluid expanse of existence. This paradox, that clarity fades the moment we try to seize it, becomes evident in our encounters with moments of profound beauty and pain alike. The fleeting nature of joy, the ephemeral quality of sorrow, and the perpetual motion of time remind us that every experience is a transient brushstroke on the infinite canvas of life. In the quiet hours before sleep, when the distractions of the day begin to melt away, this elusive quality of reality becomes even more palpable. As our minds slow down and our senses retreat from the overwhelming influx of information, we are left with the raw, unadorned experience of being. In this state, the urge to capture and control every aspect of our existence gives way to a gentle recognition of the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. We come to understand that reality is not a fixed entity to be possessed, but rather a dynamic interplay of moments, each one unique, ephemeral, and ultimately ungraspable. It is as if reality is a wisp of smoke that dissolves the moment our hands try to hold it. A reminder that true understanding may lie not in complete mastery, but in the acceptance of our limitations. This realization invites us to embrace the beauty of uncertainty. Instead of clinging desperately to the illusion of permanence, we learn to savor the shifting patterns of life, finding solace in the constant change that defines our world. The paradox of our existence is that the more we chase after definitive answers, the more we become entangled in a web of questions, each one leading us further away from the simplicity we seek. In surrendering to this mystery, we allow ourselves to experience a form of liberation, a release from the burden of needing to explain everything in terms we can understand. It is here, in the gentle dissolution of our rigid expectations, that we begin to glimpse a deeper, more resonant truth, that the essence of life lies not in what we can capture, but in what we can feel and imagine. As we settle into the soft embrace of night, with our eyes growing heavy and our thoughts beginning to blur into the realm of dreams, we find ourselves at the threshold of an inner sanctuary, a space where the usual demands of understanding and control are suspended. In this liminal zone, the logic of the day gives way to a quieter, more intuitive mode of being. It is in these precious moments of twilight that we are invited to surrender completely to the mystery of existence. The effort to force reality into neatly labeled compartments dissolves into a serene acceptance of life's inherent unpredictability. We come to see that our attempts to dissect the world are, in many ways, like trying to capture a river in a jar. Each effort leaves out the essential flow that gives the river its life. In this final meditation, as sleep beckons us toward its soft, enveloping darkness, we let go of our need for certainty. We breathe deeply and allow our minds to drift away from the constraints of conscious thought, opening ourselves to the vast, uncharted realms that lie beyond the surface of our waking perceptions. In that quiet surrender, we find a profound sense of peace, a realization that the mystery of existence is not something to be feared or conquered, but cherished as a vital part of our human experience. The elusive nature of reality, with all its contradictions and uncertainties, becomes a wellspring of wonder, urging us to trust in the unfolding of life, even when its path is shrouded in uncertainty. In embracing the unknown, we discover that true wisdom lies in accepting that some questions may remain unanswered. It is in this surrender, this delicate balance between curiosity and acceptance, that we find the essence of what it means to be alive. As we drift off to sleep, our minds gently release their grip on the day's preoccupations, and we are left with the quiet assurance that, in the grand tapestry of existence, the universe in a neuron invites us to envision a single cell as a miniature cosmos, a vibrant, self-contained universe where countless sparks of energy ignite new galaxies of thought. When we look at a neuron under a microscope, we see a structure that, at first glance, appears modest, a cell with branching dendrites and a long, slender axon. But delve a little deeper, and you begin to see that each of these elements is a world unto itself. The dendrites reach out like delicate, spiraling arms, capturing signals much like cosmic dust collects around a forming star, while the axon carries these signals forward, sending bursts of electrical energy that resemble shooting stars across a dark expanse. Within each neuron, an intricate network of molecular machinery works tirelessly. Synapses, the tiny gaps between neurons, act as portals connecting these mini-universes, allowing them to share information in a dazzling display of light and motion. Here, neurotransmitters leap across these gaps, much like comets streaking between distant planets, carrying with them the potential to create entirely new constellations of ideas. Every connection, every flicker of activity, hints at a universe brimming with possibilities, where a single spark can evolve into a brilliant cascade of thought, emotion, and memory. Consider for a moment that each neuron is not isolated, but part of a vast, interconnected web. Just as galaxies cluster together to form the grand tapestry of the observable universe, neurons connect to build the complex architecture of the brain. This neural network forms an endless landscape of interstellar highways through which ideas, dreams, and sensations travel, sometimes colliding, sometimes merging, but always in constant dynamic motion. In this way, the brain becomes an intricate self-organizing cosmos, where every cell contributes to the creation of meaning, every flicker of activity, a starburst of creativity. As we contemplate this microcosm, it is impossible not to feel a sense of awe at the sheer complexity hidden within such a tiny structure. Each neuron, with its labyrinth of branches and sparkling synapses, encapsulates the mystery of creation itself. Like a universe continually expanding with new stars and nebulae, the neuron is a testament to the potential for endless growth and reinvention. The capacity of a single cell to generate complex thoughts and vivid emotions speaks to a deeper truth. That wonder is not reserved solely for the grand scale of cosmic phenomena, but is also intimately woven into the very fabric of our being. In this light, the process of thinking, dreaming, and imagining becomes a journey through a boundless inner cosmos. Every idea that flares into existence can be traced back to these microscopic bursts of activity, where particles of consciousness coalesce into patterns as intricate and unpredictable as the swirling arms of a distant galaxy. It is here, in the spaces between firing synapses, that the seeds of our creativity are sown. A single neuron, with its innate capacity to store, transform, and transmit energy, is like a tiny universe, bursting with the promise of undiscovered worlds, a world where thought and wonder are inextricably linked. Moreover, the universe within a neuron reminds us that the boundaries between the micro and the macro are not as clear-cut as they might seem. The same laws of physics that govern the movements of planets and stars, energy, entropy, and the delicate balance of forces, also shape the delicate dance of molecule and ions within our cells. This convergence of scales invites us to reflect on the profound interconnectedness of all things. In every flicker of neural activity, there is a whisper of the infinite, a reminder that the cosmos we gaze upon in the night sky is mirrored in the quiet, hidden realms of our own minds. The more we explore these neural universes, the more we begin to understand that each thought, each emotion, and each fleeting moment of insight is the result of a grand interplay of forces, both tangible and ethereal. Every neural spark is a microcosm of cosmic creativity, a burst of potential energy that, when ignited, creates ripples that can echo through the vast expanse of our consciousness. This intricate interplay challenges us to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as dynamic, ever-changing constellations of thought and feeling, each neuron a star in the intricate network of our inner universe. Ultimately, imagining the universe in a neuron is an invitation to embrace the mystery and majesty of life at every scale. It encourages us to celebrate the idea that within the smallest elements of our biology lie entire worlds of potential waiting to be explored. As we marvel at the brilliance of a single neuron, we are reminded that the spark of creativity the light of insight, and the wonder of existence itself all begin in the delicate interplay of forces so small they defy our everyday perception, yet their impact is as vast as the universe itself. In this contemplation, we find solace and inspiration. The neuron, with its boundless capacity to transform energy into thought, invites us to see our own lives as a series of luminous moments, each a tiny universe of wonder, each a spark that contributes to the grand, ever-evolving story of who we are. The quantum leap of thought is that astonishing moment when a sudden flash of insight bursts forth, seemingly emerging out of nowhere to shatter the confines of our routine reasoning. It is as if our minds, operating like quantum particles, have been suspended in a state of indeterminacy until, in one breathtaking instant, they collapse into a state of clarity that defies the gradual, linear progressions we usually expect. In these moments, the normal rules of logic appear to be set aside, replaced by an almost mystical connection of ideas that coalesce into a singular, luminous understanding. Imagine a mind steeped in the complexity of everyday thought, where ideas are usually built step by measured step, layer upon layer. Then, without warning, a spark ignites. The conventional pathways of analysis are abandoned as disparate concepts, emotions, and memories converge in a cascade of revelation. It is as if the brain has taken a quantum leap, a boundless jump that spans vast cognitive distances in a heartbeat. In that instant, everything seems to click into place, and a profound truth is laid bare, one that had been hidden beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. This phenomenon challenges our understanding of rationality because it defies the slow, predictable progression of cause and effect. Instead, it embodies an almost instantaneous reorganization of thought, much like a flash of lightning that illuminates the sky in a split second before the storm clouds roll back in. It is in this luminous moment that the mind reveals its most creative and intuitive capacities, breaking free from the rigid confines of step-by-step logic. The resulting insight can feel transformative, as though the very fabric of reality has shifted to reveal a deeper, more interconnected truth about the world and our place within it. What is remarkable about these leaps of thought is that they often occur when we least expect them. They can emerge during moments of quiet solitude, in the soft stillness before sleep, or even amidst the bustle of our daily lives, when our minds are preoccupied with routine tasks. In these moments, our cognitive processes seem to quiet down, allowing the seeds of inspiration to germinate in unexpected ways. It is as if the mind, when given the freedom to wander, taps into a reservoir of subconscious knowledge that has been accumulating silently, ready to burst forth in a brilliant moment of clarity. This sudden insight is not merely a fleeting curiosity. It can alter our perspective and redefine our understanding of complex problems. Artists, scientists, and innovators alike have often recounted experiences where the answer to a long-standing puzzle emerged in a flash, dissolving months or even years of persistent effort into a single, electrifying moment of understanding. The beauty of such moments lies in their ability to transcend the boundaries of conventional thought, revealing patterns and connections that had previously been obscured by the limitations of our everyday perceptions. There is also a deeply personal quality to these quantum leaps of thought. They remind us that, at our core, our minds are not solely logical machines, but intricate landscapes where emotion, intuition, and imagination intermingle. In the quiet interplay between these elements, the rigid structures of linear thinking give way to a fluid and dynamic form of insight that can feel almost otherworldly. The experience of such a leap is both exhilarating and humbling, a powerful reminder of the vast, untapped potential that resides within each of us. In many ways, these moments of insight embody the essence of creativity. They push us to look beyond the obvious and to embrace the mystery inherent in the human experience. When we experience a quantum leap of thought, we are momentarily lifted out of the mundane and transported to a realm where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, where hidden truths are revealed, and where the seemingly impossible becomes not only possible, but clear and undeniable. It is in these moments that we catch a glimpse of the profound complexity of our inner worlds, a complexity that mirrors the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. Yet, as fleeting as these moments may be, their impact can be enduring. The clarity and inspiration that accompany a quantum leap of thought often leave a lasting imprint on our lives. They can ignite a renewed passion for exploration, spur us to challenge our assumptions, and even alter the course of our personal and professional journeys. In the wake of such an epiphany, we are often left with a sense of wonder and a deepened appreciation for the unpredictable nature of creativity, a recognition that not all that is valuable in life can be methodically planned or logically deduced. Ultimately, the quantum leap of thought serves as a powerful metaphor for the mysteries of the human mind. It suggests that our capacity for insight and creativity is not confined to the steady, incremental accumulation of knowledge, but rather lies in our ability to transcend conventional boundaries and embrace the unexpected. These moments of insight invite us to trust in the inherent magic of our own cognitive processes, to believe that even when logic seems to falter, there is a deeper, more intuitive intelligence at work. And so, as we navigate the labyrinth of our thoughts and experiences, we are reminded that sometimes the most profound truths are discovered not through a slow, deliberate journey, but in a single, magnificent leap into the unknown. The Fragmented Reality invites us to witness how dreams shatter the neat boundaries of our waking world, breaking apart the rigid structures of time and space into a kaleidoscope of memories and fantasies. In the realm of sleep, our minds dissolve the barriers that usually separate the past from the present, the factual from the imagined, and the real from the surreal. When we close our eyes, our consciousness enters a state where fragments of our experiences, long-forgotten images, and wild, unbridled emotions coalesce into a mosaic that defies the logic of everyday life. In this liminal space, the clear-cut lines that define our reality begin to blur. A childhood memory might mingle with the whisper of a half-remembered song, while an everyday object, like a door or a mirror, transforms into a portal to another time or a different emotion. Dreams operate like a free associative canvas, where recollections and fantasies are not bound by chronology or coherence, but are instead jumbled together in unpredictable and sometimes disconcerting ways. This fragmentation is not a malfunction of the mind, but rather a testament to its creative prowess, a reminder that our inner world is as multifaceted and dynamic as the outer universe. Within these nocturnal narratives, the mind engages in a process of deconstruction. It disassembles the familiar, reconfiguring reality into pieces that no longer adhere to the rigid rules of logic. Instead, they form a collage where disparate elements, bits of sensory input, echoes of emotions, and shards of long-lost dreams are interwoven into a tapestry that is at once chaotic and beautifully intricate. In this state, the surreal becomes ordinary, the irrational, profoundly meaningful. The fragmented images, though scattered and incomplete, evoke powerful feelings, and unlock creative insights that often elude the strict confines of our waking rationality. This interplay between memory and fantasy in our dreams serves as a mirror reflecting the deep complexities of our inner lives. Every fragment, every disjointed scene carries with it the residue of our experiences, joys, sorrows, triumphs, and disappointments that, when recombined in the dream world, reveal hidden connections and unexpected narratives. The process is much like assembling a jigsaw puzzle without knowing what the final picture should be. Sometimes the pieces fit together in surprising ways, suggesting themes and ideas that challenge our preconceived notions of self and reality. At times, the fragmented reality of dreams can feel disorienting, as if the very fabric of our identity is up for reinterpretation. We may wake with a lingering sense of wonder or perplexity, our minds still tangled in the echoes of the night's vivid imagery. Yet in this uncertainty lies a profound truth. Our perception of reality is not static, but ever-changing, shaped by both the clarity of our conscious thoughts and the ephemeral nature of our dreams. The fragments that we collect during our slumber are not meant to be fully understood or pieced together into a coherent narrative. Rather, they remind us that life itself is a series of fleeting moments, each carrying its own shade of meaning. In embracing the fragmented reality of our dreams, we are invited to reconsider the nature of truth and understanding. The disjointed images and non-linear narratives serve as a counterpoint to the orderly, predictable patterns of our waking existence. They challenge us to accept that some aspects of our lives are inherently mysterious, and that beauty often lies in imperfection and ambiguity. By acknowledging the fragmented nature of our inner world, we open ourselves to a richer, more nuanced appreciation of the complexities of human experience. This dream-induced fragmentation also highlights the creative potential within us. The mind's ability to deconstruct and reconstruct reality, to mix memories with wild flights of fancy, is a powerful engine of innovation. Artists, writers, and thinkers have long drawn inspiration from the fluid, fragmented realms of dreams, translating the surreal, illogical images of the unconscious into works of art that capture the profound beauty of our internal landscapes. In these creative expressions, the fragmented pieces of dreams are not seen as disjointed or incomplete, but as essential components of a greater, unspoken truth, a truth that resonates with the unpredictability and richness of life itself. Ultimately, the fragmented reality is a celebration of the mind's capacity to transcend the boundaries of the known. It reminds us that the tapestry of our inner lives is woven from threads that are as varied and transient as the dreams that visit us each night. The shattering of reality into fragments is not a loss of coherence, but an invitation to explore a realm where meaning is not fixed, but fluid and ever-evolving. It is a call to embrace the mystery of our inner worlds, to see beauty in the broken, and to understand that the search for absolute order can sometimes obscure the wonder of a life lived in full, vibrant complexity. The Rationality Riddle invites us to consider the paradoxical nature of logic, a tool designed to illuminate truth, yet one that sometimes leads us down paths strewn with contradictions and mysteries. At its core, logic is our attempt to impose order on the chaos of experience, to break down the overwhelming complexity of the universe into manageable, understandable parts. Yet, in doing so, we often stumble upon puzzles that defy simple explanation, revealing that even our most trusted methods of reasoning have their own limitations. Imagine a scenario where every step in a logical argument seems sound, only for a single twist, a contradiction, or a paradox to emerge, upending the entire structure. This is the irony of logic. It provides the framework for understanding, yet within that framework, there exist pockets of uncertainty that challenge the very notion of absolute truth. Classic examples abound in the annals of philosophy and mathematics. Consider the ancient paradoxes of Zeno, where the act of motion itself becomes an enigma, or the self-referential loops of the liar paradox, where a statement undermines its own validity. These are not mere curiosities. They are profound reminders that our cognitive tools, as powerful as they are, sometimes lead us into territories where certainty evaporates. The riddle deepens when we look at the work of modern thinkers like Kurt Gödel. His incompleteness theorems shattered the dream of a complete and self-contained logical system, demonstrating that any sufficiently complex system of axioms inevitably harbors truths that cannot be proven within its own confines. Gödel's insights expose a fundamental tension. The more rigorously we try to systematize our knowledge, the more we must accept that some aspects of reality will always lie just beyond the reach of formal proof. In this light, logic reveals itself not as an omnipotent key to the universe, but as a lens with inherent blind spots. Yet it is precisely these blind spots that invite us to a deeper understanding of existence. When logic presents us with contradictions, it does more than just perplex us. It beckons us to question the very nature of certainty and to embrace the mystery that underlies all human thought. Each logical impasse, each paradox, is an opportunity to explore new dimensions of understanding, to recognize that the universe is not a puzzle waiting to be solved in neat, predictable pieces, but a dynamic interplay of order and chaos, clarity and ambiguity. One of the most striking aspects of this riddle is how it mirrors the human condition. We are, after all, creatures of logic and emotion, continually striving for reason in a world that often defies it. The contradictions that emerge in our logical reasoning echo the contradictions in our lives, the simultaneous yearning for certainty and the inevitable experience of doubt, the quest for meaning amidst the randomness of existence. In our personal and collective journeys, we encounter moments where the rational mind meets the inexplicable, where our best laid plans and theories are upended by unforeseen events or insights. It is in these moments that the irony of logic becomes most apparent, a reminder that the search for absolute answers is as elusive as it is essential. This interplay between certainty and uncertainty, between structured reasoning and chaotic inspiration, is at the heart of many creative endeavors. Artists, scientists, and philosophers have long drawn inspiration from the very contradictions that challenge logical thought. It is often when we allow ourselves to dwell in the space of the unexplainable that the most profound ideas emerge. A sudden flash of insight, a quantum leap of thought, can arise precisely because the mind has ventured into realms where linear logic fails. These moments are the crucibles of creativity, where the interplay of reason and intuition gives birth to new ways of seeing the world. The Rationality Riddle, then, is not a condemnation of logic, but rather an invitation to recognize its dual nature. Logic is both our greatest tool and, at times, a source of bewildering puzzles. It reminds us that while structure and reason can guide us, they do not capture the entirety of reality. There exists a space between what we can prove and what we intuitively know, a space filled with the potential for wonder, discovery, and transformation. Embracing this duality is to accept that the universe, with all its intricacies, will always harbor mysteries that challenge our understanding, urging us to remain curious and open to new perspectives. In contemplating this riddle, we come to see that the journey of understanding is not one of linear progression, but of continuous exploration. Each contradiction uncovered by logic is not a failure, but an invitation, a call to expand our horizons and to acknowledge that some aspects of existence are meant to be experienced rather than definitively explained. The beauty of the Rationality Riddle lies in its open-endedness. It does not demand a final answer, but rather encourages us to live with the questions and to appreciate the tension between the known and the unknown. As we reflect on these ideas, we might find solace in the realization that uncertainty is not a flaw in our reasoning, but an integral part of the human experience. It is in the gaps, the pauses, and the unresolved contradictions that we often find the richest insights. The rational mind, with all its logical rigor, coexists with the intuitive heart that knows there is more to life than can be captured in equations and syllogisms. In this delicate balance between logic and mystery, we discover a deeper truth, that the pursuit of understanding is an endless, ever-evolving journey, one that is as much about asking questions as it is about finding answers. Ultimately, the irony of logic lies in its ability to both illuminate and obscure. It provides a powerful framework for navigating the complexities of the world, yet it also reveals the inherent limitations of human thought. The Rationality Riddle challenges us to embrace these limitations, to recognize that the contradictions we encounter are not signs of failure, but of a richer, more multifaceted reality. By accepting that logic can lead to perplexing paradoxes, we open ourselves to the possibility of a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the universe, a realm where the interplay of reason and mystery continues to inspire and confound in equal measure. Dreamlike Causality invites us to consider the curious interplay between a single, ephemeral thought and the boundless cascade of dreams it can ignite. Imagine a moment so fleeting, a whisper of an idea or the brief recollection of an image, that it ripples through the fabric of our consciousness, setting off a chain reaction of impressions, memories, and emotions. In that instant, cause and effect seem to lose their rigid boundaries as the initial spark unfolds into a tapestry of dreamlike visions where each element influences and transforms the next. In our waking lives, we tend to view thoughts as discrete events, linked by logical sequences that follow clear cause and effect relationships. Yet in the realm of our inner experience, these connections are far more fluid and unpredictable. A single thought can evoke a memory, which in turn may stir an emotion, leading to an entirely new idea or even an imaginative journey that defies conventional chronology. It is as if our minds operate on a different plane, where the linear progression of time gives way to a more dynamic interplay of ideas that move in all directions simultaneously. This process is much like watching a stone dropped into a still pond, where the initial splash sends out concentric ripples that interact with one another in unexpected ways. Each ripple represents a fragment of our thought process, a nuance of emotion, a fragment of memory, or a stray perception that influences the whole. In this dreamlike state, the origin of a thought becomes obscured, its precise cause lost amid the interplay of countless other factors. What remains is a mesmerizing cascade, where the distinction between cause and effect blurs, leaving us to marvel at the intricate dance of our inner life. Consider how, in moments of daydreaming or the hazy state just before sleep, the mind is free to wander without the constraints of strict logic. Here, a seemingly insignificant observation, a shift in the color of the sky, a half-remembered tune, can suddenly spiral into an elaborate narrative filled with symbolic imagery and emotional depth. The brain, unburdened by the need to justify every connection, allows these disparate elements to mingle, transforming a single thought into a rich, immersive experience that feels both surreal and profoundly meaningful. In such moments, the origin of our dreams is not always traceable. Instead, we are left with an impressionistic collage that speaks to the inherently creative nature of our consciousness. This phenomenon also reflects the non-linear character of memory and imagination. Our recollections are rarely stored as complete, unchanging records. They are fluid, constantly reshaped by our emotions and the passage of time. A small detail, a hint of a scent, or a casual remark can unlock layers of forgotten experiences, merging them with present thoughts to create something entirely new. In this way, a fleeting thought acts as a key, unlocking doorways to realms of experience that seem to exist outside the ordinary framework of time and space. The resulting cascade is not merely a succession of events, but a complex, interwoven fabric of influences, where each strand contributes to a larger, often ineffable, narrative. Furthermore, the cascade triggered by a single thought reveals the profound interconnection between our conscious and unconscious minds. The conscious mind may initiate the spark, yet it is the unconscious that elaborates upon it, infusing the thought with emotion, symbolism, and a life of its own. In this intimate interplay, logic yields to a kind of poetic freedom, a spontaneous creativity that defies analytical explanation. The boundaries we perceive between intention and happenstance begin to dissolve, and we are reminded that our inner lives operate according to principles that are as mysterious as they are beautiful. This dreamlike causality also speaks to the power of suggestion and the nature of influence. Just as a single note in a piece of music can evoke a whole symphony of feelings, a solitary thought can resonate across the vast landscape of our inner world, generating waves of inspiration and introspection. It is a reminder that within each of us lies an extraordinary capacity to transform even the simplest idea into an expansive experience, a process that challenges our conventional understanding of how thoughts lead to actions or dreams. In this light, every fleeting moment of insight becomes a catalyst, an invitation to explore the boundless realms of imagination and emotion. In contemplating this phenomenon, we may also come to appreciate the inherent unpredictability of our mental lives. Unlike the mechanical precision of a clock, our thoughts are organic and ever-evolving, often defying the neat categorizations of cause and effect. This unpredictability is not a flaw, but a testament to the richness of human experience, the way in which our minds weave together logic and mystery, order and chaos, in a tapestry that is uniquely our own. The cascade of dreams that follows a single thought is a celebration of this complexity, a reminder that our inner world is vast, multifaceted, and constantly in flux. Ultimately, reflecting on dreamlike causality encourages us to embrace the serendipity of our mental processes. It invites us to let go of the need to fully understand every connection, to accept that sometimes the beauty of a thought lies in its ability to evolve and inspire without a clear beginning or end. In the soft, unstructured flow of our inner experiences, we discover that the interplay of cause and effect is not a rigid chain, but a fluid dance, a continuous unfolding of dreams, where every moment holds the potential for unexpected wonder. As we let these reflections settle, we are reminded that each fleeting thought is more than just an isolated event. It is the seed of a cascade, a spark that lights up the dark corners of our consciousness. In this dynamic interplay, the boundaries between reality and imagination, between cause and effect, become wonderfully blurred, revealing a landscape of infinite possibility and endless creativity. Temporal Vortex is a swirling tapestry of time that draws us into its mesmerizing dance, where past, present, and future intertwine in a continuous, fluid motion. In this vision, time is not a straight line that marches inexorably from one moment to the next. Rather, it is an ever-spiraling vortex, pulling us into a realm where memories of yesteryear, the vibrancy of the current moment, and the promise of what is yet to come converge in a dynamic interplay. Imagine standing at the center of this vortex, feeling the pull of countless moments swirling around you. The past appears as luminous echoes, faint recollections of experiences and emotions that seem to whisper secrets from a time long gone. They orbit around you like delicate, fading stardust, each one contributing to the mosaic of your identity. These are not static relics, but living fragments that shape how you perceive the present and hint at the possibilities of the future. At the very heart of the vortex is the present, a vivid, radiant burst of energy that captures the immediacy of now. It is a moment of pure existence, a convergence point where the remnants of the past and the potential of the future meet. Here, every sensation, every thought, every heartbeat is amplified. The present is both a fleeting instant and an expansive field where the mundane and the miraculous coexist. It invites you to pause and fully engage with the experience of being alive, urging you to savor every nuance before it too is swept away by the relentless flow of time. Beyond the vivid clarity of the present, the future glows with a mysterious allure. It is not predetermined, but is instead a realm of infinite possibility, a swirling cauldron of dreams, aspirations, and uncharted paths. The future in the vortex is malleable, shaped by the echoes of what has been and the impulses of what is emerging. It beckons you forward, enticing you with visions of what might be, while also reminding you that every step you take is part of a larger, intricate dance. Within this temporal vortex, the traditional boundaries of cause and effect blur. A single action or thought can send ripples through the vortex, triggering changes that defy straightforward explanation. The interplay is not linear. Rather, it is an organic, ever-evolving process where each moment influences and is influenced by countless others. This phenomenon challenges our conventional understanding of time as a simple progression and invites us to embrace its complexity. It suggests that our lives are composed of layers upon layers of interconnected moments, each one a thread in a grand cosmic tapestry. The beauty of this vision lies in its invitation to let go of rigid expectations and to surrender to the natural flow of time. In the midst of the vortex, you are not bound by the constraints of a fixed timeline or a predetermined destiny. Instead, you are free to experience the fullness of every moment, aware that each passing second is both a culmination of what has come before and a seed for what is yet to be. This realization can be both liberating and humbling, as it reveals the profound interconnectedness of all things and the ever-present mystery at the heart of existence. As you contemplate the temporal vortex, you might begin to see yourself as a participant in this endless dance, a being whose existence is intricately woven into the fabric of time. Every choice you make, every memory you cherish, and every dream you nurture contributes to the swirling pattern of your life. The vortex reminds you that time is not something to be conquered or controlled. It is a vast, living phenomenon that invites you to move with it, to experience its ebb and flow, and to find beauty in the transient nature of every moment. In embracing this perspective, you come to understand that the true essence of life lies not in clinging to fixed moments, but in savoring the continuous, ever-changing journey. The temporal vortex encourages you to celebrate the fluidity of time, its ability to transform, to connect, and to inspire. It is a call to live with open-hearted wonder, to allow the past to inform you, the present to empower you, and the future to ignite your imagination. Ultimately, temporal vortex is more than a metaphor. It is an invitation to view your life as a dynamic, interwoven narrative where every moment counts. As you let yourself be carried along by its ceaseless motion, you may find that the most profound insights and the deepest joys emerge not from trying to hold on to time, but from experiencing its infinite dance, a dance that is as beautiful as it is mysterious. Neural fireworks invites us to witness the spontaneous bursts of neural activity that light up our mind like a dazzling display of fireworks, illuminating hidden realms of thought in unexpected ways. Imagine for a moment that each fleeting idea is ignited by a brilliant spark within the vast network of your brain, a spark that rapidly travels along intricate pathways, connecting neurons in a cascade of electrical signals. In that instant, the ordinary hum of our consciousness is transformed into a vibrant spectacle where every burst of activity reveals the hidden potential of our inner world. At the cellular level, neurons communicate through rapid-fire electrical impulses and chemical signals, each connection a tiny spark of possibility. When one neuron fires, it can trigger a domino effect, a cascade of synaptic transmissions that ripple outward, much like a burst of fireworks scattering light across the night sky. This burst isn't merely a biological event. It is the raw material of thought, creativity, and insight. It is in these moments that our minds wander into uncharted territories, forming connections that might not be visible in the orderly patterns of our everyday logic. In the midst of this neural display, what appears as randomness is, in fact, a deeply intricate process. These spontaneous flashes are the engine of innovation, fueling those rare moments of sudden clarity or epiphany. Picture a painter who suddenly finds a unique solution to a long-standing creative block, or a scientist who, in the quiet of a late evening, experiences an insight that redefines an entire field of study. These breakthroughs often occur when our conscious mind is at rest, allowing the underlying, spontaneous activity of our neurons to surface without interference from our usual patterns of thought. The beauty of neural fireworks is that they underscore the incredible dynamism of the brain. Our minds are not static repositories of information. They are living, breathing networks that are constantly evolving. The spontaneous bursts of activity that we witness are like little rebellions against the constraints of routine. Brief moments when the brain dares to think differently, to break free from the familiar, and to explore new connections. This process of neural spontaneity is essential for learning and adaptation. Each unexpected spark has the potential to create a new pathway, reinforcing the brain's ability to rewire itself and, in turn, foster creativity and innovation. Moreover, these bursts of neural activity reveal that our thoughts are not always the product of a linear, deliberate process. Instead, they emerge from a complex interplay of signals that defy simple cause and effect. One moment, a single thought might seem inconsequential. The next, it triggers a cascade of associations, memories, emotions, and ideas merging into a rich tapestry of inner experience. This unpredictable interplay challenges the conventional view of thought as a straightforward progression and suggests that our inner lives are more akin to a vibrant ecosystem where spontaneous explosions of activity give rise to entirely new patterns of meaning. As we marvel at the spectacle of neural fireworks, we are reminded of the inherent wonder of the human mind. Each burst of activity, each fleeting spark, is a testament to our brain's extraordinary capacity to create, to imagine, and to innovate. It is as if, in every moment of spontaneous neural firing, we catch a glimpse of the universe in miniature, a microcosm of creativity that mirrors the vast, dynamic cosmos above us. This internal display of light and energy not only powers our everyday thoughts, but also serves as the wellspring of our most profound insights and deepest emotions. In embracing these spontaneous bursts of activity, we learn to appreciate the beauty of unpredictability. We come to understand that the most brilliant ideas often arise not from meticulous planning, but from the chaotic interplay of countless minute signals, a process that is both organic and wondrously complex. These neural fireworks encourage us to be open to the unexpected, to allow our minds the freedom to wander, and to trust in the serendipitous nature of creativity. Ultimately, neural fireworks is a celebration of the spontaneous, unbidden moments that illuminate our inner world. It is an invitation to marvel at the intricate dance of neurons that underlies every thought, every emotion, and every spark of insight. In the silent, radiant bursts of neural activity, we discover not only the machinery of our cognition, but also the boundless potential for creativity that lies within us all. As you reflect on this mesmerizing phenomenon, may you be inspired by the knowledge that your mind, like a sky ablaze with fireworks, is constantly reinventing itself, lighting up hidden realms of thought with every brilliant, unpredictable burst. Synaptic Serenade invites us to experience the subtle symphony of our brain's connections, where every synapse plays a note in the grand score of our inner world. Imagine, if you will, a vast, intricate concert hall where countless musicians are at work. In this hall, each neuron is an individual instrumentalist, and every synapse, the tiny junctions between these neurons, serves as a delicate note, a distinct sound contributing to an ever-evolving melody. The brain, far from being a static organ, is a living, breathing symphony, continuously composing and recomposing the music of our thoughts, emotions, and memories. In this inner orchestra, the instruments are not traditional violins or trumpets, but rather the subtle electrical and chemical signals that flash across neural pathways. When one neuron fires, it sends a burst of energy along its axon, a signal that is then transmitted across the synapse through the release of neurotransmitters. This moment is akin to a single instrument striking a chord, a crisp, fleeting note that reverberates and inspires the neurons that follow. Each synaptic connection, though minuscule in scale, carries with it a richness of information and potential, contributing its unique timbre to the overall harmony. Consider how this symphony unfolds within you every second of every day as you experience the world, whether through the simple act of noticing the vibrant colors of a sunset or the profound introspection of a quiet moment. The myriad notes of your neural orchestra come together to form complex, layered compositions. Sometimes the melody is soft and soothing, a gentle lullaby that comforts and reassures. At other times, it is vibrant and dynamic, a burst of creative energy that propels you toward new ideas and insights. This constant interplay of signals is what gives rise to the remarkable phenomena of thought, emotion, and self-awareness. What makes this Synaptic Serenade particularly enchanting is its spontaneity. Just as in a live musical performance, where improvisation can lead to unexpected and breathtaking moments, your brain's connections are capable of sudden, creative flourishes. A single, seemingly insignificant spark of inspiration might cascade into an elaborate mental composition, a cascade of ideas, memories, and emotions that blend seamlessly into something entirely new. These moments of neural spontaneity are the lifeblood of creativity, enabling you to forge novel connections between disparate experiences and to see the world in fresh, transformative ways. As you delve deeper into this inner concert, you begin to notice how rhythm and timing play crucial roles. There is a natural cadence to your thoughts, an ebb and flow of neural activity that mirrors the rise and fall of a symphonic masterpiece. At times, the pace is measured and deliberate, each note carefully placed to build a coherent theme. At other times, the tempo accelerates into a frenzied allegro as bursts of neural energy propel you into a state of heightened awareness and rapid-fire insight. This dynamic rhythm is not random. It is the underlying structure of your mental life, a testament to the elegant complexity of the brain's architecture. Moreover, the Synaptic Serenade is a collaborative performance. Just as a symphony requires the interplay of many instruments to create a unified sound, so too does your brain rely on the cooperative effort of billions of neurons. Each connection, no matter how small, contributes to the collective resonance that shapes your perception of reality. It is in this collaboration that the true beauty of the mind is revealed, an intricate network where every element, every tiny spark of activity is interwoven with countless others to form the rich tapestry of who you are. There is also a deeply personal aspect to this symphony. No two neural compositions are exactly alike. Your brain's unique arrangement of synaptic connections is a fingerprint of your experiences, your memories, and your innermost thoughts. This individuality means that the music playing within you is as distinctive as a personal anthem, a composition that reflects the singular nature of your journey through life. In moments of reflection, you might find that the subtle notes of your inner melody evoke feelings of nostalgia, joy, or melancholy, as the echoes of past experiences blend with the present moment to create a soundscape that is entirely your own. At its core, the Synaptic Serenade is a celebration of connectivity and the magic of emergence. It reminds us that even the smallest interactions, each fleeting synaptic spark, can give rise to phenomena of immense beauty and complexity. In this light, every thought you have, every emotion you feel, is part of a grand, ongoing performance, an ever-changing score that is composed by the delicate interplay of your brain's connections. This realization is both humbling and inspiring, as it reveals the profound intricacy hidden within the simple act of thinking. In embracing the Synaptic Serenade, you are invited to appreciate the wonder of your own inner world, a realm where every neural note contributes to the grand narrative of your life. It is a call to listen deeply to the subtle music that accompanies your every experience, to recognize that within the quiet moments and the bursts of insight lies a universe of creative potential. Just as a symphony can move you to tears or lift your spirit to new heights, so too can the harmonious interplay of your brain's connections inspire awe, ignite curiosity, and foster a deeper understanding of what it means to be alive. Ultimately, the Synaptic Serenade is not just a metaphor for the workings of the brain, it is an invitation to explore the beauty of the mind itself. It challenges you to consider that every thought, every feeling, and every memory is a note in a vast, ongoing symphony, a melody that is uniquely yours and yet universally resonant. As you continue to navigate the complexities of life, may you always find solace and inspiration in the subtle, intricate music of your inner world, a timeless serenade that celebrates the endless possibilities of human connection and creativity. Cognitive Ripple invites us to reflect on the extraordinary power of even the smallest thought, a tiny pebble cast into the still waters of our mind that sends out ripples far beyond its initial touch. Imagine your mental landscape as a vast, serene lake. In its calm expanse, every thought is like a pebble dropped into the water. At first, the splash is subtle, almost unnoticeable, but soon it creates concentric circles that gently disturb the surface, reaching farther and merging with other ripples in ways you never expected. In the quiet moments of introspection, you might notice how a fleeting idea, a sudden recollection of a long-forgotten memory, or a spark of curiosity about something mundane can subtly alter the entire tone of your day. That one thought can awaken dormant emotions, reignite passions, or even shift your perspective entirely. What began as a minor observation can set off a cascade of internal associations, connecting you to feelings, experiences, and insights that were lying quietly in wait. Like ripples merging and overlapping on a tranquil pond, these thoughts intermingle to create a rich, dynamic tapestry that redefines your understanding of both yourself and the world around you. This process is a testament to the inherently interconnected nature of our cognition. Our minds do not operate in isolated compartments. Rather, each thought, no matter how small, is interwoven with countless others. When a new idea arises, it can stir up a chain reaction, prompting you to recall related experiences, reconsider past assumptions, or even inspire creative solutions to problems that had seemed unsolvable. It is as if the initial thought acts as a catalyst, a spark that ignites further mental activity and propels you into uncharted territories of understanding. In this way, a simple idea can evolve into a powerful force, gradually shifting your perceptions and opening you up to new possibilities. Consider how this ripple effect influences not only your inner world, but also your interactions with others. A minor shift in your mood or perspective, initiated by a solitary thought, can alter the way you communicate, the decisions you make, and the way you perceive the actions of those around you. Just as a gentle wave can reshape the shoreline over time, these cognitive ripples have the capacity to transform your behavior and, in turn, the dynamics of your relationships. Each thoughtful reflection or spontaneous insight contributes to an ever-evolving narrative of who you are, subtly guiding your actions and interactions in directions that might initially seem unexpected. The beauty of the cognitive ripple lies in its unpredictability. You can never be entirely sure which thought will trigger a profound change or how far its influence will extend. Sometimes, a simple idea might pass through your mind without leaving much of a trace. Other times, it can echo through your consciousness, reshaping your entire outlook. This unpredictable nature underscores the complexity of the human mind, a dynamic, living network where every thought carries the potential for growth, transformation, or even healing. It is a reminder that our inner lives are in constant flux, influenced by an intricate dance of ideas and emotions that continuously reshape our understanding of reality. Embracing this concept encourages a mindful awareness of the power inherent in every thought. It invites you to pay closer attention to those fleeting moments of insight, to nurture the positive ripples they create, and to be gentle with yourself when negative thoughts disturb the surface. By recognizing that each thought has the potential to influence your mental landscape, you begin to see the importance of cultivating a positive inner dialogue, a dialogue that can generate constructive ripples, gradually transforming your overall perception and enriching your life. Ultimately, cognitive ripple is a celebration of the remarkable, often understated, impact of our inner musings. It challenges us to appreciate the delicate interplay between individual thoughts and the broader tapestry of our consciousness. Just as a single pebble can send ripples across a vast lake, so too can one small thought illuminate hidden corners of your mind, inviting you to explore, learn, and ultimately evolve. In recognizing the power of these ripples, you come to understand that every thought matters, every fleeting idea holds potential, and every ripple contributes to the beautiful, ever-changing mosaic of your inner world. Vastness of Uncertainty invites us to step boldly into the infinite expanse of the unknown, to see the spaces between what we understand as fertile ground for creativity rather than as voids of doubt. Imagine for a moment, standing at the edge of a great dark ocean, one whose waters extend far beyond the horizon, uncharted and full of promise. In that moment, uncertainty is not a source of fear, but a canvas, vast and unblemished, upon which the colors of possibility can be freely applied. It is in this realm that the rigid boundaries of what we know dissolve, leaving room for exploration, invention, and profound personal growth. When we relinquish the need for absolute answers, we open ourselves to an ever-changing landscape where every question sparks the potential for discovery. Uncertainty, with all its unpredictable twists and turns, is the fertile soil from which innovation springs. Consider the scientific breakthroughs and artistic masterpieces that were born out of questioning the status quo, each one a testament to the creative power that emerges when we allow ourselves to be guided by curiosity rather than by the comfort of certainties. In this light, the unknown becomes not a barrier, but a boundless opportunity, a playground for the mind where every unanswered query is an invitation to learn, to evolve, and to redefine our understanding of the world. In our personal lives, embracing uncertainty means accepting that not every moment can be perfectly planned or controlled. It means trusting in the process of unfolding events, understanding that the twists and turns along our journey are not detours from our purpose, but essential parts of our unique story. Every unexpected encounter, every unforeseen challenge, contributes to the rich tapestry of our existence. These moments, though sometimes disconcerting, hold the potential to transform us, to reveal strengths we never knew we possessed, and to ignite passions that lie dormant beneath the surface of routine. By learning to flow with the currents of change rather than resist them, we discover that the unknown is less a realm of anxiety and more a reservoir of hidden potential. There is a remarkable beauty in uncertainty, a kind of poetic ambiguity that inspires us to look beyond the surface of our immediate experiences. In this space, the familiar becomes fluid, and rigid distinctions between past, present, and future begin to blur. We come to understand that life is not a linear progression, but a dynamic interplay of moments, each one imbued with its own unique flavor and significance. Just as an artist uses broad, sweeping strokes to capture the essence of a landscape, so too can we learn to appreciate the broader picture that emerges when we allow the unpredictable to shape our lives. It is in this synthesis of chance and intention that the most vibrant and unexpected creations take form. Embracing the vastness of uncertainty also invites us to explore our own inner landscapes with renewed wonder. Our minds, with all their complexities, mirror the endless expanse of the cosmos. Within us, thoughts and emotions intertwine in a delicate dance, a symphony of signals and memories that defies simple explanation. When we acknowledge that not every thought needs to be neatly categorized or every feeling fully understood, we free ourselves to explore the deeper dimensions of our consciousness. It is here, in the quiet spaces of introspection and wonder, that we find the courage to let go of preconceived notions and to embrace the fluidity of our inner world. This journey into the unknown is not without its challenges. There are moments when the sheer vastness of uncertainty can feel overwhelming, when the lack of clear answers seems to leave us adrift in a sea of endless possibilities. Yet it is precisely in these moments of ambiguity that the seeds of creativity are sown. When we allow ourselves to sit with uncertainty, to truly feel the weight and the wonder of not knowing, we create space for insights to emerge that are both unexpected and transformative. In these quiet pauses, we come to realize that every unanswered question is a starting point for a new journey, a fresh perspective waiting to be discovered. The vastness of uncertainty is a reminder that life, in all its complexity, is a constant process of becoming. It teaches us that progress is not measured by how many questions we can answer, but by our willingness to remain open, curious, and engaged with the ever-unfolding mystery of existence. In this state of openness, every experience, every challenge, and every triumph becomes a brushstroke in the grand portrait of our lives. We learn to see beauty not only in what is known, but in what is yet to be revealed, finding comfort in the idea that the unknown is a space of endless potential rather than a void to be feared. Ultimately, embracing the infinite expanse of uncertainty is an act of profound liberation. It is an invitation to cast aside the need for complete control and to trust in the natural unfolding of our journey. When we allow uncertainty to be our canvas, we empower ourselves to create without the constraints of rigid expectations. We become co-creators of our own destiny, painting our lives with bold, expressive strokes that capture the essence of our most authentic selves. The infinite possibilities that emerge from the unknown remind us that our lives are not fixed, but are constantly evolving, a beautiful, ever-changing masterpiece in which every moment holds the promise of new beginnings. Mind's paradoxical theater invites you to imagine your mind as a grand, ever-changing stage, a theater where an endless play of contradictions unfolds with each passing moment. On this stage, logic and chaos share the spotlight, performing together in a mesmerizing dance that both challenges and delights. Picture a vast auditorium where the curtains are always drawn back to reveal scenes that shift unexpectedly, sometimes a meticulously choreographed ballet of reason, and at other times, a wild improvisation where unpredictable elements burst forth with unbridled passion. In this theater, the role of logic is that of a precise, disciplined actor. Logic steps onto the stage with calculated movements, delivering lines that are crisp, coherent, and meticulously rehearsed. It structures the narrative of our thoughts, providing clear arguments, coherent patterns, and orderly progression. Logic represents the part of our mind that seeks understanding, that organizes experiences into neat categories, and that insists on rational explanations. It is the director who arranges the scenes and cues each actor with impeccable timing, ensuring that every moment follows a deliberate plan. Yet, standing in stark contrast to logic is chaos, a force that embraces spontaneity, unpredictability, and the raw energy of the unknown. Chaos in this theater of the mind is like an avant-garde performer who improvises with a freedom that defies script or structure. It bursts onto the stage with a flair for the unexpected, throwing conventional order to the wind and inviting us to revel in the beauty of uncertainty. Chaos introduces surprises into the narrative, turning familiar scenes into surreal tableaux and challenging us to see the world through a lens that is as inventive as it is disorienting. The interplay between logic and chaos creates a dynamic tension that is both compelling and transformative. Like opposing forces in a timeless drama, they continuously engage in a delicate dialogue. Logic may attempt to harness the wild energy of chaos, attempting to impose structure on it, while chaos, in turn, disrupts and redefines the boundaries set by logic. This interplay gives rise to a rich, multi-layered performance where contradictions are not errors to be corrected, but essential elements that add depth, complexity, and vibrancy to the overall experience of being. Imagine a scene where a perfectly logical argument is suddenly interrupted by a burst of chaotic imagery, a memory, a fleeting emotion, or an unanticipated idea that shatters the orderly flow. In that moment, the script is rewritten before your eyes, and the audience, the self, the observer within, witnesses the emergence of a truth that cannot be confined to a single narrative. The contradiction itself becomes a source of insight, suggesting that our understanding of reality is enriched by the collision of order and disorder. It is as if the theater of the mind is saying, "Here lies the beauty of existence, the coexistence of certainty and mystery, of structure and spontaneity." As the performance unfolds, you may notice that the boundaries between scenes are fluid. The transitions are seamless yet unexpected, blurring the lines between past experiences and present thoughts, between dreams and waking reality. In this theater, every scene is interwoven with layers of meaning. Each contradiction is a brushstroke on a vast canvas, each clash between logic and chaos, a note in a complex symphony. The narrative is not linear. It spirals, loops, and expands, inviting you to engage with it on multiple levels. This multi-layered performance reflects the very nature of the human mind, which is not a static repository of information, but a living, breathing work of art that continuously evolves. There is also a deeply personal dimension to this paradoxical theater. The script that unfolds is uniquely yours, written by the interplay of your experiences, memories, and inner emotions. No two performances are ever the same, as each one is colored by your current state of mind, your hopes, and your fears. Sometimes the show may appear coherent and structured, echoing moments of clarity and focus. At other times, it may seem chaotic, with unexpected plot twists that leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Yet in both cases, there is an inherent beauty, a reminder that the richness of life lies in its diversity and in the perpetual interplay of opposites. The theater also reminds us that contradictions are not failures of thought, but rather the sparks that ignite creativity and innovation. It is often within the tension of opposing forces that new ideas are born. When logic and chaos converge, they create a fertile ground for insights that challenge the status quo and open up new avenues of understanding. Just as a playwright might use conflict to drive a narrative forward, so too does your mind use the dance of order and disorder to propel you toward deeper self-awareness and discovery. The paradoxes that emerge are not obstacles, but invitations to explore the unknown, to question established patterns, and to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. In the grand finale of this endless performance, you are left with a profound sense of wonder. The lights slowly dim as the echoes of both logic and chaos fade into a reflective silence, a moment when the theater of the mind reveals its ultimate truth, that life is a beautiful, intricate mosaic of contradictions. It is a realm where every thought, whether meticulously reasoned or wildly spontaneous, plays an indispensable role in the unfolding story of who you are. Embracing this paradox means accepting that certainty and uncertainty, order and chaos are not mutually exclusive, but are interdependent elements of a dynamic whole. Mind's paradoxical theater is an ongoing invitation to participate in the creative act of being. It encourages you to step into the role of both actor and audience, to observe the interplay of your own thoughts with a sense of curiosity and acceptance. In doing so, you may find that the contradictions within you are not sources of conflict, but rather the keys to unlocking new dimensions of insight and creativity. As you walk away from the theater each day, carry with you the understanding that your mind is a stage for endless possibility, a place where every contradiction, every clash of logic and chaos contributes to the ever-evolving masterpiece that is your life. Embrace of the unknown invites you to surrender to the gentle mystery of life's uncharted territories as you approach the quiet moments before sleep. In these final moments of your journey, the rigid structures of certainty begin to dissolve, and you find yourself drifting into a space where the known and the unknown blend seamlessly. Here, the familiar boundaries that once defined your waking hours fade into soft, indistinct contours, making room for an expansive realm of infinite possibilities. As you lie down and allow your thoughts to settle, the day's concerns recede like the last light of dusk, and in that delicate transition, you are offered the gift of profound release, a chance to simply be without the need for complete understanding. In the stillness of the approaching night, the mind quiets its incessant chatter, and a serene openness takes hold. It is in this silence that you begin to notice the subtle beauty of uncertainty, a beauty that is not diminished by its lack of clear form, but enhanced by the limitless potential it holds. Each unformed thought and each gentle whisper of imagination is like a tiny seed, waiting in the dark soil of possibility to sprout and transform into something wholly new. The unknown, far from being a source of fear, becomes an invitation to explore the vastness of what could be, encouraging you to let go of the desperate need to have all the answers. As you surrender to this gentle uncertainty, you allow the myriad threads of possibility to weave themselves into your consciousness. The strict lines of logic and expectation soften into a fluid tapestry of dreams and inspirations, where every moment is both a mystery and a promise. In this delicate interplay, you come to understand that not all things must be defined or controlled. Some truths are meant to be felt in the quiet, reflective pauses between heartbeats. The very act of letting go, of accepting that some aspects of life remain beautifully unresolved, opens the door to an inner freedom that transcends the constraints of the rational mind. In these quiet moments before sleep, your inner world becomes a sanctuary where the constraints of time and certainty fall away. Here, in the gentle darkness, you embrace the unknown as a natural part of your existence. The uncertainties of the day, the unanswered questions, and the lingering doubts all transform into quiet companions rather than foes. They remind you that the essence of life is not found in the precise answers, but in the wonder of continual exploration. The infinite possibilities that arise in this space are like soft, ethereal music, a melody that speaks of hope, growth, and the endless capacity for renewal. Allow yourself to drift with this rhythm, to float effortlessly on the currents of possibility, knowing that each breath is a step further into a realm where imagination reigns. As you surrender to the unknown, you find that the soft murmur of your inner world becomes a gentle guide, whispering that sometimes the most profound insights emerge when you let go of the need to hold everything in place. The uncertainty is not a void to be feared, but a canvas upon which your dreams, hopes, and aspirations can be painted without limitations. In this embrace of uncertainty, you also discover a deep sense of self-compassion, recognizing that life's mysteries are an integral part of the human experience allows you to be kinder to yourself. The quest for perfect clarity is replaced by an acceptance that every question left unanswered is a doorway to further discovery. In that quiet space, the mind is free to wander, to conjure visions of beauty and possibility that defy the constraints of everyday reasoning. You are invited to celebrate the small, luminous sparks of insight that appear unexpectedly, each one a testament to the wonder of an unfettered, open heart. As the night deepens and sleep gently beckons, you close your eyes to the world outside, and in that darkening silence, the infinite expanse of the unknown unfolds before you. The embrace of uncertainty is not a final destination, but a continuous journey, one that fills your dreams with the promise of new beginnings and uncharted adventures. Every moment of rest becomes a renewal, a chance to be reborn into the mystery that lies just beyond the edge of waking thought. In the soft, silent hours before sleep, allow yourself to be cradled by the gentle unknown. Let your heart beat with the quiet assurance that, in surrendering to uncertainty, you are opening yourself to the endless possibilities that life has to offer. With each breath, release the need for control and invite the wild, beautiful potential of the unformed future to take shape. In this final act of the day, as you drift away into rest, remember that the true magic of life is woven from the threads of the unknown, a tapestry of endless, radiant possibility that waits to be explored anew with each awakening. Shifting realities challenges us to question the very fabric of our perceptions, inviting us to venture into a realm where the line between the real and the imagined is fluid and ever-changing. Imagine standing at the edge of a mirror that reflects not only your familiar face, but also a cascade of images, some recognizable, some dreamlike, that dissolve into one another in an endless dance. Here, your senses become both the witnesses and the architects of an experience, where what you see, feel, and know is in constant flux, urging you to embrace uncertainty as a creative force. In this shifting landscape, reality is not a fixed backdrop, but a canvas that is continuously painted and repainted by our thoughts, memories, and emotions. The solidity of the everyday world, its predictable structures and stable patterns, gradually gives way to a more dynamic state where even the most concrete details can seem ephemeral. You might recall a moment when a familiar street appeared surreal, as if viewed through a distorted lens that softened its edges and blurred its contours. That sensation, where the tangible becomes transient, is a gentle reminder that the boundaries of our reality are not as impermeable as they seem. As you navigate this ever-changing terrain, you may notice that the perceptions you hold are not the unassailable truths you once believed them to be. Instead, they are provisional constructs, products of a mind that is constantly adapting and reinterpreting its environment. The sounds, sights, and sensations of the world around you become imbued with multiple layers of meaning, each one shifting in response to your inner state. In moments of heightened emotion or creative inspiration, the familiar might morph into something altogether unexpected. A conversation with a friend might evoke memories of a long-lost dream, or the gentle rustling of leaves could spark an imaginative narrative that transports you to another time or place. This challenge to the stability of perception is not meant to destabilize you in a negative sense, but rather to expand your understanding of what it means to experience the world. It asks you to be open to the possibility that the dichotomy between what is real and what is imagined is, in many ways, an illusion. Our minds, with their intricate webs of memories and expectations, do not simply receive information passively, they actively construct the reality we inhabit. Every moment is a co-creation between the external stimuli and the internal processes that filter, interpret, and transform those stimuli into something uniquely personal. Consider the interplay of dreams and waking life. At times, the images and narratives that arise in our dreams seep into our conscious experience, blurring the edges between what we believe to be true and what our imagination can conjure. A dream might leave you with a lingering sense of wonder or unease, its vivid imagery persisting even after you wake, challenging you to reassess the boundaries of your own experiences. This interplay suggests that the supposed clarity of the waking world is, in itself, a form of illusion, a carefully constructed narrative that is as malleable and open to reinterpretation as the wild landscapes of our dreams. In art and literature, this theme of shifting realities has been a perennial source of inspiration. Visionaries and storytellers have long used surreal imagery and unconventional narratives to capture the fluidity of human experience. The works of artists like Salvador Dali, or writers who weave magical realism into their tales, serve as reminders that the conventional barriers between reality and fantasy are not as rigid as they appear. They invite us to see that within every moment there is a spark of the extraordinary, an invitation to look beyond the surface and explore the deeper, often contradictory layers of our existence. Embracing the shifting nature of reality also means acknowledging the role of our own perceptions in creating the world we live in. Our beliefs, biases, and emotions act as filters through which every experience is mediated. When we become aware of this, we gain the power to question our assumptions, to challenge the limitations we unconsciously impose on ourselves. It is a call to cultivate a mindset of curiosity and openness, one that is willing to let go of rigid certainties in favor of a more nuanced, expansive view of life. In doing so, you begin to see that every encounter, every fleeting thought, holds the potential to transform your understanding of the world. There is a liberating quality in accepting that nothing is ever entirely fixed or final. The shifting realities you experience are not signs of instability or confusion. They are evidence of a dynamic, creative process at work, a process that continually reinvents itself. This realization can be both humbling and empowering. It reminds you that, like the world around you, you're not a static entity, but a living, evolving being. Your perceptions, your ideas, and even your identity are in a constant state of flux, each moment offering a chance to discover something new about yourself and the universe. As you journey through this theater of shifting realities, you are invited to embrace the mystery that lies at the heart of existence. Let the blurring of boundaries be a source of wonder rather than disquiet. In the space where logic meets imagination, where the concrete dissolves into the ethereal, there is an opportunity to explore uncharted territories of thought and emotion. This is not a path of nihilism or despair, but one of creative exploration, an acknowledgement that the richness of life often emerges from its inherent ambiguity. Synaptic Storm invites you to visualize the mind as a dynamic, electrifying landscape where bursts of neural activity clash like a tempest. Imagine a dark, stormy sky where lightning forks across the horizon, each flash representing a sudden burst of neural firing, illuminating the intricate pathways of your brain for an instant. In this vision, neurons are like storm clouds gathering energy, and every spark of activity is a bolt of lightning that both reveals hidden contours and obscures them in a dazzling display of light and shadow. In the midst of this storm, insights and confusion emerge side by side. Just as lightning can momentarily reveal the landscape before plunging it back into darkness, a sudden neural burst may bring forth a moment of clarity, a flash of understanding that cuts through the fog of uncertainty. These insights might come as a brilliant idea during a quiet moment of reflection, or as a sudden resolution to a problem that had long seemed unsolvable. Yet, just as quickly as these flashes occur, they dissipate, leaving behind a residue of questions and the disarray of conflicting signals. The storm does not provide a neat, orderly explanation. Rather, it mirrors the complex interplay of knowledge and doubt, clarity and ambiguity. The imagery of a synaptic storm emphasizes the chaotic beauty inherent in the process of thought. Every collision of neural signals is both a spark of creativity and a catalyst for further complexity. Some bursts might merge seamlessly, creating a harmonious flow that carries you forward into deeper understanding, much like a gentle rain that nourishes a parched landscape. Others might clash violently, generating an overwhelming cacophony that leaves you momentarily disoriented, as if caught in a gale that defies all attempts at control. In this tumultuous interplay, the mind continuously adapts, rewiring itself in the face of both disruption and revelation. As you navigate this internal storm, you might sense that the chaos is not merely random noise, but a critical component of cognitive evolution. The unpredictability of these neural clashes is what fuels the creative process, pushing the boundaries of conventional thought. It is in the eye of the storm, in those moments when conflicting signals converge, that new ideas are born. Just as a storm can transform the environment, reshaping the contours of the land with its relentless force, the neural storm reshapes your mental landscape, carving out new pathways of understanding that were previously hidden. In this way, the very confusion stirred up by the storm is an essential ingredient in the alchemy of insight. However, this tempest of thought is not without its challenges. The same forces that spark profound revelations can also engender feelings of disarray and uncertainty. When the storm rages too fiercely, the relentless barrage of impulses may overwhelm the mind, making it difficult to discern which flashes of insight are genuine and which are mere echoes of confusion. The mind, like a sailor in turbulent seas, must learn to navigate these tumultuous waves, finding balance amidst the chaos. This process of navigating the storm is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that within every clash of neural signals lies the potential for both growth and renewal. In embracing the synaptic storm, you're invited to accept that the interplay of order and chaos is a natural and necessary part of cognitive life. Rather than seeking to suppress the storm or force it into a pattern of predictable outcomes, you are encouraged to observe it with curiosity and compassion. Each burst of activity, each clash of impulses, is a vivid reminder that your mind is a living, breathing ecosystem, one that thrives on the dynamic tension between certainty and doubt, between insight and bewilderment. The storm is not a harbinger of disintegration, but a powerful force of transformation, capable of breaking down old structures and paving the way for fresh, innovative perspectives. As you reflect on this metaphorical storm, allow yourself to appreciate the raw, unfiltered energy of your thoughts. Recognize that the flashes of lightning, the moments of sudden insight, are gifts born of the same turbulent process that occasionally leaves you feeling overwhelmed. They are fleeting, yes, but in their brevity lies a spark of the infinite potential of your mind. The confusion that sometimes accompanies these bursts is not a failure, but a sign of the complex interplay that underlies every moment of conscious experience. Ultimately, the synaptic storm is a celebration of the unpredictable, ever-evolving nature of thought. It challenges you to see beauty in the disarray, to find meaning in the clash of neural signals, and to understand that every storm, no matter how fierce, eventually gives way to calm. In the aftermath, the air is clearer and the landscape of your mind is enriched by the transformative power of chaos. Embrace the storm with an open heart, knowing that within its wild, electric energy lies the essence of creativity, the seed of profound insight, and the promise of endless possibility. Fragmented Universes invites you to envision each idea as its own microcosm, a small world of thought that exists in beautiful, broken fragments. Imagine for a moment that every time a thought emerges in your mind, it is like a tiny spark giving birth to an entire universe. These universes are not whole, polished realms, but rather delicate constellations of insights and emotions, each piece an essential shard of a grand, unfolding mosaic. Picture a vast, starry sky where every flicker of light is an idea, a burst of energy that creates its own celestial sphere. Some of these spheres are vast and intricate, filled with interconnected patterns of memory, emotion, and logic. Others are ephemeral, transient moments of brilliance that flicker and fade before leaving a lasting impression. They are fragmented, each one existing in its own unique state of incompleteness, yet all are undeniably beautiful in their imperfection. In this vision, the process of thinking becomes an act of cosmic creation. As you ponder a question or marvel at a sudden insight, consider that your mind is building a universe piece by piece. Each fragment is like a broken shard of glass that, when refracted through the light of your awareness, splinters into countless colors. These fragments, though scattered and sometimes seemingly chaotic, come together to form a tapestry of meaning that is both deeply personal and universally resonant. At times, these fragmented universes interact. A simple idea might branch out, colliding with another, merging to create entirely new constellations of thought. The interplay between different fragments can produce unexpected patterns, novel associations that challenge conventional wisdom and open doors to unexplored realms of creativity. This collision of universes can be a catalyst for innovation, as the beauty of their broken forms lies in the unpredictable ways they come together to form a coherent, albeit ever-changing, narrative. Yet, there is also a gentle melancholy in recognizing the fragmentary nature of our inner worlds. No single idea is ever complete. It is always part of a larger, fragmented constellation that is constantly shifting and evolving. In this impermanence, there is a subtle lesson that our understanding, too, is in flux, and that true wisdom lies in embracing the beauty of incompleteness. Rather than seeking a perfect, all-encompassing truth, we come to appreciate the richness of our experiences as a series of fleeting moments, each a universe of thought beautiful in its brokenness. Consider how the fragments of your thoughts mirror the nature of life itself. Just as our experiences are a series of moments, joyful, sorrowful, fleeting, and profound, so too are our ideas scattered across the canvas of our mind. Each fragment, no matter how small, carries its own weight, its own story, its own burst of energy that contributes to the greater narrative of who you are. In this light, every broken piece of thought is not a sign of deficiency, but a testament to the complexity and vibrancy of your inner life. In these fragmented universes, there is also room for mystery. The incomplete nature of each idea leaves space for the unknown, a gap where imagination can flourish and new insights can emerge. It is within these gaps that the mind finds the freedom to wander, to question, and to dream. The beauty of fragmentation is that it does not confine you to a rigid structure. Instead, it invites you to explore, to piece together, and even to let go of ideas that no longer serve you, making room for fresh bursts of creative energy. Embracing these fragmented universes means accepting that perfection is not the goal. Instead, it is the process of creation, the interplay of broken pieces, and the willingness to allow ideas to evolve that matters. Every thought, every fragment, is a step in an endless journey, a journey where meaning is not delivered in one final, pristine form, but rather unfolds in layers, like the peeling back of a cosmic onion. Each layer reveals more about the mysteries of your own mind and the infinite potential that lies within the interplay of your thoughts. As you reflect on this vision, you might find yourself inspired to honor each fragment of your inner universe. Recognize that even the smallest, seemingly insignificant idea has the power to illuminate your path. Embrace the broken beauty of these thought fragments, and let them remind you that life itself is a mosaic of fleeting moments and ever-changing ideas. In the interplay of these fragmented universes, you discover that the richness of your inner world is not diminished by its imperfection. Rather, it is amplified by the infinite possibilities that arise when you allow every broken piece to contribute its unique light. Ultimately, Fragmented Universes is a meditation on the creative, dynamic nature of thought, a celebration of the delicate, fractured beauty that makes up the tapestry of your mind. It challenges you to see each idea not as an isolated, complete entity, but as a vital part of a larger, ever-shifting cosmos. A cosmos where every fragment, every broken shard of thought, plays an indispensable role in shaping the grand, unending narrative of who you are. Subconscious Symphony invites you to listen deeply to the quiet music that plays beneath the surface of your everyday thoughts, a melody composed of hidden memories, spontaneous ideas, and the gentle hum of your inner world. Imagine for a moment closing your eyes and turning your attention inward. In that stillness, you begin to hear a soft, intricate symphony, a composition that has been playing silently all along, waiting for you to tune in. This is the music of your subconscious, where the notes are formed by long-forgotten experiences, emotions that linger in the background, and the spontaneous sparks of creativity that arise when you least expect them. In this symphony, every element of your inner life contributes a unique sound. There are deep, resonant tones that echo the weight of your early memories, those foundational experiences that have shaped who you are. They form the bass line, a steady, grounding rhythm that anchors the rest of the composition. Then, there are the lighter, more fleeting melodies, whispers of dreams, unexpected insights, and subtle recollections that dance like high notes, fluttering in and out of consciousness with delicate grace. Together, these diverse sounds weave a rich tapestry of inner life, a sonic narrative that tells the story of your past, present, and the endless possibilities of your future. As you listen to this subconscious symphony, notice how it is not static, but a living, breathing composition. With each passing moment, the melody shifts and evolves. Hidden memories that have lain dormant may rise up to the surface, mingling with the spontaneous ideas that suddenly illuminate your mind. It is as if the symphony is improvising, each note, each phrase, creating a narrative that is uniquely yours. There is a beauty in this constant state of flux. The music of your subconscious is not meant to be controlled or dissected, but to be experienced, felt, and embraced for its mysterious, ever-changing nature. Consider the moments when you have experienced a sudden insight, a flash of understanding, or a creative spark that seems to come out of nowhere. In these moments, you are catching a glimpse of the symphony in action. The idea that emerges is like a burst of bright, clarifying music, cutting through the gentle background hum and illuminating your consciousness with a brief, yet powerful, clarity. It reminds you that beneath the surface of routine thought, there is a vast reservoir of creativity and meaning, always ready to surprise you with its depth and beauty. Yet this symphony is not always loud or dramatic. Often, it plays in soft, subtle phrases that require attentive listening. It might be present in the quiet moments before sleep, when the day's chatter fades away and you are left with the raw, unfiltered sounds of your inner world. In these precious moments of silence, the symphony invites you to let go of the need for constant control and logic. Instead, you simply allow the music to wash over you, each note a reminder that not everything in life needs to be defined or explained. There is wisdom in the gentle murmur of your subconscious, a wisdom that speaks in a language of emotions, sensations, and images rather than words. This inner music also has the power to heal. When you allow yourself to listen deeply, you may begin to understand the subtle messages encoded in each note. Perhaps a recurring theme in your dreams, a familiar melody of loss, hope, or renewal, carries a message about what your heart truly needs. Or maybe an unexpected shift in the symphony signals that it's time to embrace a change, to explore a new path that you had not considered before. The subconscious symphony, in all its complexity, is a guide, a companion that helps you navigate the labyrinth of your inner life, offering insights and solace when the conscious mind feels overwhelmed by the noise of the external world. Moreover, the beauty of this symphony lies in its universality. While every individual's composition is unique, a personal score written by the interplay of experience, emotion, and imagination, it also connects us to a larger, collective melody. Think of how certain themes, emotions, or images recur across different lives and cultures. There is a shared language in the quiet symphony of the subconscious, a language that speaks of our common humanity. In moments of creative expression, whether through art, music, or storytelling, we tap into this shared reservoir. We draw upon the timeless melodies of longing, joy, sorrow, and hope that resonate across the boundaries of individual experience, reminding us that, despite our differences, we all listen to the same deep, unspoken music within. As you journey through your day or settle down at night, consider taking a moment to simply listen, to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and attune your senses to the delicate music playing within you. Let the harmonious blend of hidden memories and spontaneous ideas remind you that your inner world is vast, mysterious, and ever-changing. There is a beauty in the fragments, in the intermingling of sound and silence that speaks to the infinite complexity of who you are. Embracing this subconscious symphony means honoring every note, every pause, and every crescendo as an essential part of your personal narrative. Ultimately, subconscious symphony is an invitation to trust in the unfolding of your inner music, to know that even in moments of uncertainty or confusion, there is a profound, poetic order to your thoughts and feelings. By surrendering to the melody of your subconscious, you open yourself up to a deeper understanding of your own creativity, resilience, and capacity for renewal. As you continue your journey, may you always find inspiration in the quiet symphony within, and may its gentle, ever-evolving melody guide you toward a richer, more authentic experience of life. Cognitive Tides invites you to envision your thoughts as vast ocean tides, eternal rhythms that ebb and flow, each wave gently reshaping the shoreline of your consciousness. Picture yourself standing on a windswept beach at dawn, where the sea retreats slowly, revealing intricate patterns etched into the sand, only to rush back in with renewed force. In this imagery, every thought, whether fleeting or profound, acts like a tide, carving its mark upon the landscape of your inner world. At the highest point of a tide, when ideas surge into the forefront of your awareness, you may feel a rush of insight, a powerful, cresting wave that fills you with clarity and possibility. These moments, like the ocean's high tide, carry with them a sense of abundance and transformation. A single thought can emerge like a towering wave, its energy spreading across your mind, washing over you with fresh perspectives and bold revelations. In that surge, you are reminded that the mind is never static. It is a living, breathing entity in perpetual motion. Yet, just as the tide eventually recedes, so too do these intense bursts of thought give way to quieter intervals. When the cognitive tide ebbs, the overwhelming rush subsides, leaving behind a reflective calm where ideas can settle and new patterns can form. In these moments of retreat, your consciousness reveals the subtle, intricate details of your inner shore, a mosaic of memories, feelings, and insights that have been gently sculpted by previous waves. It is during this quieter phase that the mind consolidates its experiences, integrating the fragments of thought that have washed ashore to form a coherent picture of who you are. The ebb and flow of cognitive tides illustrate the fluid nature of perception itself, just as the shoreline is never fixed, always shifting in response to the rhythm of the ocean. Your thoughts are in a constant state of flux, evolving with each passing moment. This dynamic process challenges the notion of a static self, reminding you that every thought and every experience contributes to an ever-changing mosaic of identity. What you hold as truth today might be reshaped by tomorrow's tide, encouraging you to embrace the inherent uncertainty of life. Imagine that each wave carries with it both familiar elements and unexpected treasures. Some tides bring memories from long ago, nostalgic echoes of moments that once defined you, while others carry entirely new ideas, like mysterious driftwood washed ashore by the currents of your imagination. The interplay between these old and new elements creates a rich, textured landscape where the past continuously meets the present, and where the seeds of the future are sown. This merging of temporal layers in your consciousness is a testament to the mind's remarkable capacity for reinvention and growth. There is also a powerful sense of renewal in the continuous cycle of cognitive tides. With every high tide comes the potential for transformation, as old patterns are swept away and new formations begin to emerge. The relentless movement of thought ensures that no moment is ever truly final. Instead, Each thought is part of an ongoing process, a cycle of creation, dissolution, and rebirth that mirrors the natural world. Just as the ocean cleanses the beach with its rhythmic advance and retreat, your mind is constantly purifying itself, allowing fresh ideas to replace those that have served their time. In the midst of these constant shifts, there is a liberating lesson about impermanence. The realization that thoughts, like tides, are transient helps you to relinquish the need for rigid control or permanent answers. This acceptance of fluidity is both calming and empowering. It frees you to explore your inner landscape without the fear of losing yourself in the turbulence of change. Instead of clinging to each crest as a final truth, you learn to appreciate the beauty of its passing moment, a transient peak that, once gone, leaves room for new experiences and insights to emerge. Moreover, the metaphor of cognitive tides encourages mindfulness, the practice of being present and attuned to the natural rhythm of your mind. By observing the rise and fall of your thoughts, you become more aware of the patterns that shape your emotional and intellectual life. This awareness can lead to a deeper understanding of how past experiences influence your current perceptions, and how every new idea has the potential to alter your mental landscape. With mindful attention, you learn to navigate the tides with grace, recognizing that both the surges and the retreats play essential roles in your ongoing journey of self-discovery. As you reflect on the imagery of shifting cognitive tides, consider the possibility of finding peace in the constant state of change. The ever-moving rhythm of your thoughts is not a source of instability, but rather a sign of a vibrant, dynamic inner life. The tides remind you that change is the only constant, and that each moment offers an opportunity for renewal and growth. Embracing this reality means welcoming both the storms and the calms with equal openness, trusting that every wave, no matter how forceful or gentle, contributes to the evolution of your consciousness. Ultimately, Cognitive Tides is a meditation on the transformative power of your inner world, a world where every thought, like a shifting tide, sculpts the contours of your being. It invites you to surrender to the natural ebb and flow of mental activity, to recognize that the ever-changing landscape of your mind is a source of endless possibility and creative energy. As you continue along your journey, may you find comfort and inspiration in the knowledge that, like the ocean's tides, your thoughts are part of a beautiful, eternal cycle of renewal. A cycle that constantly reshapes the shoreline of your consciousness, revealing new horizons with every passing wave. The veil of illusion invites you to lift the curtain on your everyday perceptions and peer into the hidden layers of meaning that lie just beneath the surface. Imagine your world as a stage, meticulously set with familiar props and predictable scenes, where what you see at first glance is merely a polished facade. Yet behind that curtain of apparent normalcy, a vast, intricate tapestry of symbolism and subtle nuance waits to be revealed, an ever-shifting landscape that challenges the solidity of your reality. As you begin to question the ordinary, you might notice that the images and ideas you take for granted are imbued with layers of hidden significance. What once appeared as simple routines or mundane encounters now reveal themselves as symbols, echoes of deeper truths and emotions that color your life in ways you may not have fully understood. The street you walk daily becomes not just a pathway, but a corridor of memories and future possibilities. Each face in the crowd carries with it a silent story, a shadow of experience that hints at a richer inner life. In this process of unveiling, your senses are sharpened, and you start to perceive subtle cues that previously went unnoticed. The sound of rustling leaves, the play of light and shadow, even the delicate aroma of morning coffee. All these elements, which we often dismiss as mere background, begin to form an elaborate symphony of meaning. They are the whispers of a deeper reality, speaking in the language of metaphor and suggestion. Every sensory detail serves as a signpost, guiding you through the labyrinth of your inner world and urging you to ask, what lies beneath this surface? The act of lifting the veil is both a gentle awakening and a bold act of rebellion against the limitations of conventional thought. It requires you to suspend your reliance on habitual patterns and embrace the possibility that reality is far more fluid and dynamic than it appears. You start to see that the truths you have always known are but one layer among many, each one interwoven with threads of emotion, memory, and imagination. The veil, then, becomes a metaphor for the boundaries we impose on our understanding, boundaries that, once questioned, reveal the vast potential of what might be. As you explore these hidden layers, you may discover that some of the most profound insights arise from the interplay between what is visible and what is concealed. In moments of quiet reflection, the surface of your consciousness begins to ripple, and you catch fleeting glimpses of the underlying architecture of your mind. These glimpses can be startling, sudden insights that challenge long-held assumptions or the rediscovery of forgotten passions and desires. They remind you that beneath every superficial observation lies a complex network of associations and emotions waiting to be acknowledged. This journey into the depths of perception also brings with it a sense of liberation. Freeing yourself from the constraints of an overly rigid worldview allows you to see the beauty in ambiguity, to appreciate that not every question demands a concrete answer. There is comfort in accepting that some mysteries are meant to be experienced rather than fully understood. The veil of illusion is not a barrier to knowledge, but an invitation to engage with the world more fully, to recognize that each moment holds the potential for transformation if only you are willing to look beyond the obvious. In the interplay between the seen and the unseen, the real and the imagined, you begin to understand that life itself is a layered narrative. The daily routines that once felt repetitive now sparkle with the possibility of hidden meanings. A child's laughter might evoke memories of lost innocence, while a sudden change in weather could serve as a metaphor for the impermanence of all things. This reawakening of your perceptual faculties opens up new avenues of creativity and empathy, enabling you to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. When you start to perceive the world in all its multifaceted glory, you become attuned to the subtle cues that enrich every experience, turning the mundane into the magical. However, lifting the veil is not without its challenges. It requires a willingness to confront discomfort and uncertainty, to question the narratives that have long defined your sense of self. There may be moments when the hidden layers you uncover are unsettling, shadows of fears, regrets, or painful memories that you have tried to forget. Yet even these darker aspects are part of the grand tapestry of your existence. Embracing them can lead to healing as you come to accept that every fragment of your experience, no matter how troubled, contributes to the complexity of who you are. In facing these difficult truths, you pave the way for a more compassionate and nuanced understanding of both yourself and the world. Ultimately, the veil of illusion is a call to awaken from the slumber of complacency and to engage with life in a more open, inquisitive manner. It invites you to trust in the transformative power of perception, to understand that every layer you peel back brings you closer to the essence of reality, a reality that is not fixed, but continuously evolving. As you lift the curtain on your everyday perceptions, you step into a realm where every moment is charged with potential, where the interplay of light and shadow creates a symphony of insight, and where the infinite depth of your inner world unfolds like a living, breathing work of art. May this journey of unveiling empower you to live with a heightened sense of wonder and curiosity, to cherish the beauty hidden beneath the surface of the ordinary, and to always remain open to the profound mysteries that define the human experience. Journey Through Uncertainty invites you to step away from the familiar and venture boldly into the realm of the unknown, a territory where every uncertain step broadens the horizon of your insight and deepens your understanding of life's vast complexity. Imagine yourself at the threshold of a dense, unexplored forest. The path ahead is dimly lit, shrouded in mist and mystery. Yet each step you take, even if tentative, opens up new vistas, revealing hidden clearings, unexpected streams, and the promise of uncharted wonders. In this journey, uncertainty is not a barrier to be feared, but a landscape to be embraced, a dynamic space where every unknown twist invites you to learn, adapt, and grow. As you move forward, you begin to notice that the unknown is not a single, monolithic expanse, but a mosaic of possibilities. The more you allow yourself to wander beyond the well-trodden trails, the more you discover that each fork in the road, each unexplored trail, is an opportunity to reframe your perspective. In the light of uncertainty, your mind becomes a canvas where past experiences, present emotions, and future hopes intermingle. These moments of ambiguity create a fertile ground for creative thinking and self-reflection, prompting you to ask new questions and re-examine long-held beliefs. It is through this process that the horizon of your insight expands, revealing truths that were hidden behind the veil of certainty. This journey is both an external exploration and an internal odyssey. On the outside, you may find yourself navigating through situations that challenge your assumptions, unexpected changes at work, sudden shifts in relationships, or even the natural unpredictability of life events. Each of these moments nudges you into a state of active inquiry, encouraging you to remain open and flexible. Internally, the journey into uncertainty stirs a deeper understanding of your own capabilities. You learn that vulnerability is not a weakness but a strength. A willingness to confront the unknown allows you to tap into reserves of resilience and creativity that you might not have realized existed. Embracing uncertainty is like learning to dance with the unpredictable rhythm of life. At times, the music is soft and steady, inviting gentle steps of reflection and contemplation. At other moments, the rhythm quickens, compelling you to improvise, to adapt on the fly, and to trust that even when the choreography is not clear, you can still find your footing. In this dance, every misstep becomes a lesson, every pause a moment of clarity, and every leap of faith an affirmation of your inner strength. You begin to see that the unknown is not merely a space of risk, but a reservoir of potential. Each uncertain moment a seed from which new ideas, relationships, and opportunities can grow. The beauty of a journey through uncertainty also lies in its capacity to liberate you from the constraints of preconceived expectations. When you allow yourself to be guided by curiosity rather than by the need for control, you become more attuned to the subtle signals of the world around you. The unexpected no longer feels like an intrusion, but like a gentle invitation to explore further. With each step, you learn to appreciate the transient nature of every experience, understanding that impermanence is not a loss but a necessary condition for growth. The ever-changing landscape of uncertainty teaches you that holding on too tightly to what is known can stifle creativity, whereas embracing the flux opens up infinite possibilities for reinvention. Throughout this journey, you may encounter moments of disorientation when the path seems unclear and the future appears veiled in shadows. It is in these moments that the true value of venturing into uncertainty reveals itself. The discomfort of not knowing becomes a catalyst for profound introspection. You begin to question not just the world outside, but also the inner workings of your own mind. These reflective pauses offer you a chance to strip away superficial layers and to confront the raw, unfiltered essence of your beliefs, desires, and fears. In doing so, you gain a deeper, more authentic understanding of who you are, independent of the external certainties that once defined you. As you continue forward, you realize that each step into the unknown expands your capacity for empathy and connection. By experiencing the unpredictable and learning to navigate its challenges, you become more compassionate, not only towards yourself, but also towards others who are on their own journeys of discovery. You start to see that the shared experience of uncertainty is a universal bond that unites us, reminding us that we are all, in essence, explorers on a quest for meaning. In this collective adventure, the insights you gain become a beacon, illuminating not only your path, but also offering guidance to those who wander in similar uncharted territories. Ultimately, Journey Through Uncertainty is a call to embrace the vast, unbounded potential of the unknown, with a heart full of courage and a mind open to transformation. It invites you to cast aside the comfort of certainty and to trust in the unfolding process of life, a process that is rich with surprises, lessons, and endless opportunities for growth. As you stand on the brink of what is yet to be discovered, remember that every step into uncertainty is a step towards greater insight, a journey that transforms not just the landscape of your thoughts, but the very essence of your being. May you walk this path with confidence, curiosity, and a sense of wonder, ever ready to welcome the infinite possibilities that arise when you dare to venture into the unknown. Sculpting the Self invites you to reflect on the beautiful, ongoing process of crafting your identity, a process as intricate and evolving as a masterful sculpture. Imagine yourself as an artist, steadily shaping a block of clay. Every experience you live through, every thought that flits across your mind, and every emotion you feel is like a hand, a tool, or a gentle touch that leaves its mark on the raw material of your being. In this creative process, life's experiences serve as both the clay and the inspiration. The moments of joy that lift your spirit, the hardships that challenge your resilience, and even the quiet, introspective times all contribute layers of texture to your self-portrait. Like the delicate striations left by a sculptor's chisel, these experiences carve out your unique form, revealing contours that are both beautiful and complex. Each smile, every tear, every triumph, and every setback weaves into the fabric of who you are, building a history that is as personal as it is profound. Consider how your thoughts play a vital role in this ongoing creation. They are not merely fleeting mental events, but rather the seeds from which your understanding of the world blossoms. A single idea can spark a cascade of insights, redirecting your course like a subtle adjustment in a sculptor's hand. Over time, these thoughts accumulate, sometimes aligning to form patterns, and other times standing as solitary pillars of belief that support the structure of yourself. Whether they challenge your assumptions or reaffirm your values, they contribute to the evolving mosaic of your identity, constantly shaping and reshaping you in unexpected ways. Emotions, too, are integral to this artistic journey. They infuse your creation with life and color. A surge of anger may leave bold, striking impressions, while the tenderness of love adds soft, flowing curves that invite warmth and compassion. Each emotion, whether it bursts forth in a brilliant flare or whispers in subtle undertones, leaves its distinct mark. They serve as both the muse and the medium, allowing you to express the inexpressible and to communicate the depth of your inner world. In the interplay between intense passion and gentle melancholy, you find a dynamic balance that not only defines who you are, but also reveals the vast potential for growth and transformation. As you navigate the days, you might notice that the process of self-sculpting is neither linear nor fixed. Like the layers of sediment in ancient rock formations, your identity is built up over time, each moment adding new dimensions, sometimes reinforcing what has come before, and at other times, challenging you to reconsider your core. There are periods when the clay is soft and malleable, allowing you to reshape aspects of your character with ease. At other times, the material has hardened, and the marks of your past seem indelible. Yet even these seemingly permanent features can be reworked with persistence and insight, a reminder that you are not defined solely by what has been, but also by your capacity to evolve. In moments of quiet reflection, you may come to see that the act of sculpting the self is as much about letting go as it is about creating. It is a process of shedding old layers that no longer serve you, discarding pieces of outdated beliefs, or healing from wounds that have long since been inflicted. This liberation, much like the clearing away of excess clay from a masterpiece, reveals the more refined, authentic essence of who you truly are. It requires courage to let the winds of change reshape you, to allow imperfections to emerge as part of the overall beauty of the sculpture. And in doing so, you embrace the truth that every mark, every scar, and every smooth curve is part of a grand, unfolding narrative that is uniquely your own. The beauty of this journey lies in its endless potential for reinvention. Just as a sculptor might return to a work in progress with fresh eyes and new ideas, so too can you revisit the contours of your identity with each new experience. Life is a constant interplay of creation and transformation, where the past informs the present, and the present, in turn, opens doors to an ever-changing future. There is no final form, no perfect sculpture waiting at the end of the process. Instead, there is a continuous dialogue between who you were, who you are, and who you might become. A dialogue that is as enriching as it is challenging. In this creative interplay, community and connection also play a vital role. The interactions you share with others become the collaborative tools that help refine your own sculpture. Conversations, shared experiences, and even conflicts contribute to the depth and texture of your inner world. They serve as mirrors that reflect parts of you that you might not see on your own, offering insights that deepen your self-understanding. In the collective human experience, you find inspiration and validation, reinforcing the notion that the art of sculpting the self is not a solitary endeavor, but a shared journey toward greater empathy and understanding. As you continue on this path, remember that the work is never truly complete. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to add a new detail, to smooth out rough edges, or to highlight hidden beauty that had once been obscured. Embracing the ever-changing nature of your identity is a celebration of life itself, a recognition that growth, with all its messy, unpredictable brilliance, is the essence of being human. The sculpture of yourself is an ever-evolving masterpiece, one that tells a story of resilience, creativity, and infinite possibility. Fragmented Dreams invites you to embrace the beauty of incomplete visions, those elusive fragments of your nighttime reveries that hint at worlds existing just beyond the reach of waking life. Imagine drifting into sleep, and as your mind surrenders to the gentle pull of unconscious wonder, vivid images and fleeting impressions begin to surface. These fragments, like shards of a vast and mysterious mosaic, are not fully formed dreams, but delicate hints of stories, landscapes, and emotions that beckon you to explore a realm that defies the strict confines of logic and time. In these dream fragments, nothing is entirely as it seems. A half-remembered face, a symbol whose meaning is just out of grasp, or a landscape that shifts and shimmers with fluid edges. All of these are pieces of a larger narrative that your subconscious weaves while you rest. The beauty of these incomplete visions lies precisely in their ambiguity. Each fragment holds a spark of possibility. It is as if your mind has dipped into an infinite reservoir of wonder, scattering droplets of creative potential that hint at deeper truths about your inner world. These pieces of nocturnal imagery invite you to consider that the essence of a dream does not reside solely in its completeness, but in its ability to evoke emotion, stimulate reflection, and inspire creativity. Much like a piece of abstract art, a fragmented dream might not provide all the answers, but it offers a powerful, evocative experience that transcends everyday reasoning. The fragments that linger upon waking, perhaps a surreal sequence of shifting landscapes, or a symbolic encounter that defies explanation, are treasures of the subconscious. They are invitations to step beyond the boundaries of your habitual thought patterns and explore the vast, uncharted territories of your inner life. The imperfection of these dreams is their strength. Their incompleteness mirrors the human experience itself, complex, multifaceted, and never fully grasped. Life, after all, is not a series of neatly packaged moments, but a continuous flow of experiences that leave room for mystery and imagination. The fleeting nature of these visions challenges you to appreciate that some aspects of your inner world are meant to remain elusive, encouraging you to embrace uncertainty as a space where creativity can thrive. As you reflect on these fragmented dreams, consider how they resonate with your waking reality. Perhaps a recurring symbol in your dreams, an image of water, a fleeting glimpse of a familiar place, or even an abstract pattern, carries with it hints of unresolved feelings or untapped aspirations. These fragments are not meant to be pieced together into a definitive narrative, but to serve as a gentle reminder that there is a world beyond the rigid boundaries of your conscious mind. They invite you to listen to your intuition, to let your imagination wander, and to discover new perspectives that can enrich your understanding of yourself and your life. In the quiet hours of the night, when the mind is free from the pressures of daily responsibilities, these fragmented visions arise as whispers from a deeper part of your being. They are moments of profound insight, fleeting yet impactful, like delicate brushstrokes on the canvas of your soul. Rather than striving to capture or analyze every detail, you are encouraged to let these dreams wash over you, to appreciate their ephemeral beauty, and to allow them to inspire a sense of wonder and possibility in your waking moments. The allure of fragmented dreams lies in their ability to spark new ideas and foster a renewed sense of curiosity about the mysteries of existence. Each fragment, no matter how brief or incomplete, holds a potential story, a narrative waiting to be expanded, reimagined, or simply cherished for its inherent beauty. They remind you that the richness of life is not defined by complete clarity or final answers, but by the journey of exploration, where every hint and every shimmer of an idea contributes to the ever-evolving tapestry of who you are. Ultimately, Fragmented Dreams is an invitation to celebrate the imperfect, the mysterious and the transient nature of your inner world. It encourages you to welcome the partial, the half-remembered, and the elusive with an open heart, understanding that in these fragments lies the key to a deeper, more creative existence. In embracing the beauty of incomplete visions, you honor the dynamic interplay between your conscious self and the boundless realms of your subconscious, a dance that enriches your life with endless possibilities, whispering softly of worlds that exist just beyond the veil of everyday reality. The depths of doubt invites you to dive deep into the uncertainty that lies at the core of every thought, a place where doubt is not merely a hurdle to overcome, but a profound guide that illuminates the intricacies of our inner world. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, dark ocean, where the water represents the myriad questions and uncertainties that swirl beneath the surface of your mind. It is in these depths that doubt takes root, challenging the solidity of what you think you know, and in doing so, urging you to explore the hidden layers of truth that lie beyond easy answers. At first glance, doubt might seem like an unwelcome intruder, an unsettling whisper that undermines confidence and shakes the foundations of certainty. Yet, when you allow yourself to dive into its depths, you begin to see that doubt is not the enemy of progress, but its very catalyst. It forces you to question assumptions, to examine the evidence of your beliefs, and to seek clarity in the midst of ambiguity. Every time you encounter a moment of uncertainty, you are offered a unique opportunity to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. In the realm of thought, doubt acts like a natural filter, a process that sifts through the clutter of superficial ideas to reveal the more nuanced, authentic insights beneath. It is as if your mind is constantly engaged in a delicate dance between conviction and skepticism, where every belief is tested and refined. This process, while sometimes uncomfortable, is essential for growth. It prevents you from settling into complacency and encourages a state of perpetual inquiry, where each question becomes a stepping stone toward deeper understanding. Consider how doubt plays a role in creativity and innovation. Many groundbreaking ideas are born not from certainty, but from the willingness to question the status quo. When doubt creeps in, it disrupts the familiar patterns of thought, opening up a space for alternative perspectives and novel solutions. In this way, doubt is a spark that ignites the flame of creative exploration. It pushes you to venture into uncharted territories of your mind, where the interplay of uncertainty and imagination can lead to unexpected breakthroughs. Rather than viewing doubt as a limitation, embrace it as a vital part of the creative process, a reminder that every masterpiece, every innovation, was once just a question waiting to be answered. Moreover, the depths of doubt have a transformative power that can lead to personal resilience. When you face uncertainty head-on, you learn to navigate the complexities of your emotions and thoughts with greater agility. This journey into the unknown requires courage, a willingness to sit with discomfort, and to acknowledge that not every question will have a neat, tidy resolution. In embracing doubt, you cultivate an inner strength that allows you to remain open to change, to adapt, and to grow even in the face of ambiguity. Over time, This practice of questioning and self-examination builds a foundation of intellectual humility and emotional maturity, enabling you to approach life with both curiosity and compassion. Yet, diving into the depths of doubt also means accepting that some uncertainties may never be fully resolved. There will always be questions that linger, some mysteries that defy complete explanation. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. It teaches you that the quest for absolute certainty is less important than the journey of exploration itself. In the spaces where answers remain elusive, you find the freedom to invent your own meaning, to weave together strands of insight into a tapestry that is uniquely yours. It is within this interplay of doubt and discovery that you come to appreciate the beauty of life's inherent complexity, a beauty that lies not in the finality of answers, but in the endless horizon of possibilities that doubt unveils. As you navigate your inner ocean, remember that doubt is not a sign of weakness, but an invitation to delve deeper. Each moment of uncertainty holds the potential to transform your perspective, to refine your beliefs, and to expand the boundaries of your understanding. It is a guide that leads you away from the comfort of assumptions and into the realm of genuine insight. In this space, you learn that the process of questioning is as valuable as the answers you seek, and that every dip into doubt brings you closer to the core of your true self. Ultimately, the depths of doubt challenges you to embrace uncertainty as an integral part of your journey. It calls on you to see doubt not as a stumbling block, but as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the creative and transformative process of living. As you continue to explore the vast, uncharted waters of your mind, allow doubt to be both a challenge and a guide, steering you toward a richer, more authentic understanding of who you are and what you can become. May you find strength and inspiration in the quiet spaces of uncertainty, knowing that every question, every moment of doubt, is an opportunity to reshape your inner world and to forge a path toward a future filled with endless possibilities. Mindful Contradictions invites you to celebrate the vibrant tension that exists within your mind, a dynamic interplay where opposing ideas coexist, challenge one another, and ultimately foster creative growth. Picture your inner world as a bustling marketplace where conflicting thoughts, emotions, and perspectives meet and mingle, each one adding a unique flavor to the tapestry of your experience. In this space, contradictions are not errors or failures, but rather essential ingredients that stimulate new insights and enrich your understanding of life. Imagine holding two seemingly opposing beliefs at once, perhaps the desire for stability while yearning for change, or the need for solitude balanced by an equally strong craving for connection. At first glance, these contradictions might seem irreconcilable, as if they were locked in an eternal struggle. Yet within their very coexistence lies a powerful truth. It is through the tension between opposites that you uncover deeper layers of meaning and possibility. Each contradiction in your mind acts like a spark, igniting a dialogue between different parts of yourself that might otherwise remain isolated. This internal conversation challenges you to examine your assumptions, to question what you thought was fixed, and to discover that the answers often lie somewhere in the interplay between extremes. As you become more aware of these mindful contradictions, you might notice that they are the wellspring of your creativity. The push and pull of conflicting ideas create a dynamic environment where innovation thrives. Consider how an artist might blend light and dark to create a painting that captures the complexity of human emotion, or how a writer uses paradox to evoke both tension and beauty in a story. In the same way, your mind uses the fertile ground of contradiction to cultivate fresh perspectives. When you allow opposing forces to coexist, you give rise to a rich space where new ideas can emerge, ideas that are more nuanced, more authentic, and more reflective of the multifaceted nature of your experience. This creative tension is not meant to be resolved into a single neat answer. Instead, it is an invitation to embrace ambiguity and to appreciate that life is rarely as simple as black or white. The contradictions you experience are like the overlapping hues in a watercolor painting, each shade contributing to a more complex and vibrant picture. When you approach these contradictions with curiosity rather than resistance, you open yourself up to a deeper level of self-understanding. You learn that every conflicting thought has its own value, and that the spaces between them are filled with insights waiting to be discovered. Mindful contradictions also remind you that the journey towards self-awareness is not a linear path, but a spiral of ongoing exploration. Just as a river may twist and turn as it makes its way through the landscape, your thoughts and emotions flow in a non-linear dance that is rich with unexpected detours and surprising harmonies. In this ever-evolving process, you come to see that each contradiction is a stepping stone, an opportunity to refine your beliefs, to reassess your priorities, and to grow into a more integrated version of yourself. The contradictions that once caused discomfort or confusion can, with time and reflection, become the very catalysts for personal transformation. In moments of quiet reflection, you might observe that these contradictions often arise during times of significant change or challenge. They can be most intense when you are facing a decision, when old patterns are being disrupted, or when new possibilities emerge. Instead of shying away from this internal friction, consider it an invitation to delve deeper. Ask yourself what each opposing thought might be trying to tell you, and look for the wisdom that lies in the interplay between them. Often, it is in these moments of internal conflict that you discover your truest values and aspirations, the core elements that define who you are and who you aspire to become. Embracing mindful contradictions is also a practice of compassion, both for yourself and for others. When you recognize that your own mind is a complex landscape of conflicting emotions and ideas, you may find it easier to extend that same understanding to those around you. It reminds you that everyone harbors their own internal battles, their own paradoxes that shape their journey. This awareness fosters empathy and opens the door to more meaningful connections. As you learn to appreciate the diverse tapestry of human experience. Ultimately, mindful contradictions is an invitation to celebrate the full spectrum of your inner life. It challenges you to see beauty in the coexistence of opposites and to understand that the richness of your thoughts is enhanced by their complexity. Rather than striving for a singular, unified narrative, allow yourself to dance with the dualities that make you who you are. Embrace the tension between light and shadow, certainty and doubt, and let these mindful contradictions guide you toward a deeper, more authentic understanding of yourself and the world. May you find inspiration and strength in the recognition that every contradiction is a doorway to growth, every tension a spark of creativity, and every conflicting thought a reminder that life, in all its complexity, is a beautiful, ever-unfolding masterpiece. Dissonant Harmony invites you to explore the profound beauty that emerges when conflicting ideas converge, much like disparate musical notes that blend to form an unexpected symphony of thought. Imagine two melodies, one soft and gentle, the other bold and dissonant, playing simultaneously. At first, they seem to clash, their tones colliding in a cacophony that defies traditional harmony. Yet, as you listen more deeply, you begin to notice that within this clash lies a subtle, transformative beauty, an interplay of tension and release that gives birth to something entirely new and profound. In our minds, ideas often appear as clear, distinct notes, each with its own identity and purpose. We are conditioned to seek consistency, to favor clarity over contradiction, and to view opposing views as mutually exclusive. But just as in music, where the interplay between minor and major chords creates emotional depth, the blending of conflicting ideas can reveal layers of insight that a single, uniform perspective might never uncover. It is in the spaces between certainty and uncertainty, in the meeting point of divergent thoughts, that our understanding is enriched. Imagine a canvas painted with bold strokes of contrasting colors, a vibrant red colliding with a cool blue, creating a dynamic interplay that is both striking and evocative. The initial impression may be one of discord, yet as you step back, the painting reveals an intricate balance. The tension between the colors gives rise to new shades and textures that would not exist in their absence. Similarly, in the realm of thought, when we allow ourselves to embrace contradictions, we unlock the potential for creative synthesis. Each conflicting idea serves as a brushstroke that adds depth and dimension to the overall picture of our understanding. Consider the role of dissonance in fostering growth. When our beliefs and assumptions are challenged by opposing perspectives, we are pushed to question the foundations of our own thinking. This process of internal conflict can be uncomfortable, like the sharp, unexpected note in a piece of avant-garde music. But it is precisely this discomfort that drives innovation. By grappling with conflicting ideas, we learn to navigate the complexities of our own minds, gradually refining our perspectives and uncovering hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. In this way, dissonance becomes not a barrier to understanding, but a catalyst for intellectual and emotional evolution. There is also an element of liberation in the acceptance of dissonant harmony. When we relinquish the need for a perfectly unified worldview, we open ourselves to a broader, more inclusive perspective. The conflicting ideas that once seemed irreconcilable begin to interact in a dynamic dance, each one influencing and reshaping the other. This interplay creates a rich, multifaceted tapestry of thought, an ever-evolving narrative that reflects the complexity of life itself. Rather than stifling our creativity, the embrace of dissonance allows us to celebrate the full spectrum of human experience, acknowledging that beauty often lies in imperfection and contradiction. As you reflect on the concept of dissonant harmony, you might recall moments in your own life when unexpected conflicts or challenges led to profound insights. Perhaps a disagreement with a friend or a sudden reversal of fortune disrupted your sense of stability, only to reveal new opportunities for growth and understanding. These experiences, though painful at the time, often become the most cherished lessons, reminders that from the clash of conflicting forces can arise a deeper, more resilient form of wisdom. In the same way, the seemingly discordant notes of a symphony can, when listened to with an open heart, transform into a moving and memorable composition. This exploration of conflicting ideas is not merely an abstract exercise. It has practical implications for how we engage with the world. In our increasingly polarized society, the ability to appreciate and integrate diverse perspectives is more vital than ever. When we allow ourselves to dwell in the space of dissonance, we cultivate empathy and a deeper understanding of others, we begin to see that every individual carries their own unique symphony of experiences, and that the differences between us are not flaws to be eradicated, but essential elements of a richer, collective human narrative. Ultimately, Dissonant Harmony is an invitation to embrace the complex, often contradictory nature of thought and experience. It challenges us to listen to the full spectrum of ideas, even those that seem at odds with our own beliefs, and to find beauty in their interplay. By doing so, we not only expand our intellectual horizons, but also enrich our emotional lives, discovering that the most profound insights often emerge from the tensions between opposites. So, as you move forward in your journey of self-discovery, consider welcoming those discordant notes in your inner symphony. They may just hold the key to a more vibrant, creative, and authentic understanding of the world. The spectrum of doubt invites you to reframe your understanding of uncertainty, not as a weakness or a flaw, but as a vibrant spectrum of curiosity that enriches your perception. Imagine doubt not as a single monochromatic state, but as a dynamic palette, each shade representing a different facet of inquiry and possibility. At one end, you might encounter gentle hesitations that spark questions about everyday assumptions. At the other, intense moments of skepticism that challenge long-held beliefs. Between these extremes lies an endless range of subtle nuances, each inviting you to explore deeper layers of understanding. In everyday life, doubt often carries a negative connotation, prompting us to seek certainty and to dismiss questions that disturb our sense of security. Yet, when you look at doubt as part of a spectrum, you begin to see that every questioning moment is an opportunity for growth. That flicker of uncertainty can be the starting point for a transformative journey, a path where the mind remains open and receptive, always ready to learn something new. It is through these very moments of uncertainty that innovative ideas are born, pushing the boundaries of what you once thought was possible. Consider the role of doubt in the creative process. Artists, scientists, and thinkers alike have long relied on moments of skepticism to propel their work forward. When a musician questions a familiar chord progression, or a painter reconsiders the interplay of colors on a canvas, they are, in essence, engaging with the spectrum of doubt. These acts of creative inquiry lead to breakthroughs that not only redefine their art, but also contribute to a broader understanding of the world. In this light, doubt becomes a catalyst, a source of inspiration that encourages you to challenge the status quo and embrace the unexpected. This spectrum is not static. It evolves with each new experience. The doubts you harbor about your personal or professional life are not permanent roadblocks, but rather stepping stones that guide you toward deeper insights. With every question you ask, you peel away a layer of preconceived notions, revealing new perspectives that add richness and complexity to your worldview. These layers of doubt, when embraced with an open mind, allow you to reconstruct your understanding of reality, much like a sculptor reshapes a rough block of marble into a refined work of art. The process may be gradual and sometimes uncomfortable, but it is precisely this discomfort that signals growth and evolution. Furthermore, the spectrum of doubt colors your interactions with the world in profound ways. When you approach others with a mindset that values inquiry over certainty, you foster an environment where diverse perspectives can flourish. In conversations, instead of insisting on immediate answers or dismissing alternative viewpoints, you allow space for dialogue, exploration, and mutual learning. This approach not only deepens your relationships, but also broadens your intellectual horizons, inviting you to see the world through a kaleidoscope of differing experiences and insights. In such a setting, doubt becomes a shared language, a way of connecting with others on a level that transcends simple agreement or disagreement. Embracing doubt as a spectrum also means recognizing its role in personal transformation. The moments when you question your own abilities, beliefs, or decisions are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to self-reflection and growth. By examining these uncertainties, you build a more resilient and nuanced sense of self. Each inquiry, each moment of hesitation, allows you to reimagine your potential and to redefine what success and fulfillment mean on your own terms. In this way, doubt acts as a guide, leading you away from the rigid confines of certainty and toward a more flexible, adaptive, and authentic version of yourself. There is an inherent beauty in the endless shades of doubt, a beauty that lies in its capacity to challenge, to inspire, and to transform. Like a painter who uses a rich palette to evoke a multitude of emotions on canvas, your mind uses the spectrum of doubt to create a dynamic and evolving picture of the world. This picture is never complete. It is always in a state of becoming, continually refined by new questions, insights, and experiences. In this ongoing process, you come to understand that certainty is not the ultimate goal. Rather, it is the journey of inquiry, with its vibrant array of doubts and questions, that truly shapes your destiny. Ultimately, the spectrum of doubt is a call to embrace the unknown with curiosity and courage. It challenges you to step beyond the confines of absolute certainty and to welcome the rich, transformative potential of uncertainty. Each moment of doubt is an opportunity, a chance to explore, to learn, and to evolve into a more insightful and compassionate being. As you move through life, let the hues of doubt guide you toward deeper understanding, richer relationships, and a more expansive view of the world. In doing so, you will discover that the endless shades of inquiry are not obstacles on your path, but the very essence of a life lived in wonder and discovery. Mysteries in the Margin invites you to explore the often overlooked details of thought, the tiny, seemingly insignificant edges of your mental landscape that upon closer inspection reveal vast, unexplored mysteries of consciousness. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a richly annotated manuscript, filled with notes and scribbles in the margins. While the main text tells a clear story, it's in these marginalia that the most intriguing, hidden ideas reside. These small details, easily dismissed as mere afterthoughts, are in fact portals to deeper understanding, inviting you to question, reimagine, and ultimately expand the boundaries of your awareness. As you reflect on your own stream of thought, consider the fleeting images, passing emotions, and half-formed ideas that often slip by unnoticed. They might appear as fragments, a sudden flash of color, a brief recollection, or a whisper of a novel concept that seem too delicate to hold weight. Yet these marginal musings are laden with potential. They are the raw, unfiltered expressions of your inner life. In the quiet moments between focused thought and distraction, these details carry a mysterious allure. They remind you that consciousness is not a monolithic narrative, but a collage of interrelated impressions, each contributing to the whole in ways that are subtle yet profound. Pay attention to the margins of your thoughts, the places where ideas meet emotion, where memory blends with imagination. These are the spaces where you might find contradictions, paradoxes, or even unresolved questions that defy easy explanation. It is in these in-between areas that the true complexity of your mind is laid bare. Each seemingly trivial detail holds the promise of a hidden insight, a clue to understanding the deeper currents that shape your experiences. By embracing these nuances, you begin to appreciate that every minor fluctuation in your thought process can be a stepping stone toward a richer, more textured understanding of who you are. In a world that often prizes clear, linear narratives and decisive conclusions, the mysteries in the margin encourage you to slow down and savor ambiguity. They invite you to cultivate a practice of mindfulness, an attentive awareness that honors even the most delicate, inconspicuous thoughts. This mindful attention can transform the margins of your mind into a fertile ground for creativity. When you allow yourself to linger on those little details, you might discover connections that were previously hidden, patterns that interweave your past experiences with your present insights. In doing so, you not only enrich your intellectual life, but also open up new avenues for emotional healing and personal growth. These overlooked details are not errors or distractions. They are the echoes of your subconscious, a testament to the vast, dynamic nature of your inner world. Just as an artist leaves intentional marks that add depth and character to a painting, your mind leaves subtle imprints that are key to your personal narrative. The margin is where the formal structure of your thoughts meets the wild, uncharted territory of your deeper self. It is a space where creativity can flourish, unburdened by the constraints of conventional logic. By exploring these margins, you allow yourself to be led by curiosity rather than by the need for certainty, discovering that sometimes the most profound truths lie just beyond the obvious. Over time, as you learn to appreciate and explore these tiny corners of thought, you may find that they begin to illuminate larger patterns within your consciousness. What once seemed like random, insignificant scribbles can coalesce into a meaningful mosaic, a tapestry woven from the interplay of memory, desire, and aspiration. In these fragments, you might recognize the seeds of your most original ideas or the reflections of your deepest emotions. They serve as gentle reminders that your mind is an ever-evolving landscape, rich with layers of meaning waiting to be discovered. Ultimately, Mysteries in the Margin is a call to honor every facet of your inner life, however small or inconspicuous. It asks you to see doubt, wonder, and even confusion not as obstacles to be eradicated, but as vital elements of your ongoing journey towards self-discovery. In the quiet margins of thought, where the light of conscious reasoning meets the dark, mysterious depths of the subconscious, you find the raw material for personal transformation, a place where the tiniest detail can spark a cascade of insight, leading you to understand that the beauty of your consciousness is not defined solely by its clarity, but by the rich, enigmatic patterns that emerge when you dare to look closely. As you continue to navigate the vast expanse of your mind, may you cherish those delicate margins, the overlooked details that, in their quiet persistence, hold the key to unlocking the profound mysteries of your own being. Embrace these fragments with openness and curiosity, and allow them to guide you toward a deeper, more nuanced appreciation of the infinite complexity that is your inner world. The interplay of reason and wonder invites you to explore the dynamic tension between cold logic and childlike wonder, a dialogue that continuously shapes and reshapes your worldview. Imagine your mind as a vast landscape where two powerful forces coexist. On one side, the precise, measured light of reason, and on the other, the sparkling, unpredictable glow of wonder. These two elements, though seemingly at odds, together create a rich, ever-evolving tapestry of understanding. On one hand, reason is the disciplined tool of analysis, It's the ability to break down complex problems into smaller, manageable parts. It's the systematic approach that allows you to measure, compare, and predict with accuracy. Reason offers structure and clarity, providing the framework upon which many of your beliefs and decisions are built. It's what enables you to navigate the practical demands of life, solving problems, making decisions based on evidence, and constructing logical arguments. When you approach a challenge with reason, you rely on facts, data, and rational thinking to arrive at a solution that is consistent and replicable. On the other hand, wonder is the spark of curiosity and imagination that often defies rigid boundaries. It is the sense of awe that emerges when you gaze at a star-filled sky, listen to the laughter of a child, or ponder the mysteries of the universe. Wonder embraces uncertainty and the unknown, encouraging you to see beauty in questions without immediate answers. It allows you to step outside the confines of conventional thinking and to entertain possibilities that reason alone might dismiss as improbable or irrational. In wonder, you find the magic of the world, a reminder that not everything needs to be fully explained to be cherished. The interplay between reason and wonder is much like a dance, where each step is both a response to and a catalyst for the other. At times, reason and wonder work in harmony. When you apply rational thought to a phenomenon, wonder can lead you to ask deeper questions, inspiring you to seek out new data, explore novel theories, or embark on creative endeavors. For example, scientific discoveries often begin with a childlike sense of wonder, a curiosity about how things work, which then becomes refined through rigorous investigation and logical analysis. In this way, wonder fuels reason, pushing it to expand its horizons, while reason grounds wonder, preventing it from veering into baseless speculation. Yet, there are moments when these two forces can clash. The cold, hard logic of reason might seem to dampen the exuberant, sometimes chaotic energy of wonder, insisting on concrete answers and dismissing the beauty of mystery. Conversely, wonder might challenge reason by urging you to suspend disbelief, to question the limits of empirical evidence, or to embrace uncertainty as a legitimate state of being. This clash can create internal tension, a feeling of being pulled between the comfort of what is known and the allure of what is yet to be discovered. Such tension, however, is not a sign of weakness or indecision. Rather, it is a vital spark for growth. It forces you to re-examine your assumptions, to balance skepticism with open-mindedness, and to acknowledge that the world is far more complex and layered than any single perspective can capture. In everyday life, this dynamic interplay shapes your decisions, your relationships, and your sense of identity. Consider a moment when you encountered a problem at work. Reason might have guided you to analyze the situation, weigh the pros and cons, and devise a plan based on logic. Yet within that same scenario, a flash of wonder, a creative insight, an unconventional idea might have led you to a solution that was as innovative as it was effective. In such cases, the collision of reason and wonder generates outcomes that are not only practical, but also imbued with creativity and possibility. Over time, the balance between reason and wonder evolves. Early in life, you might be dominated by wonder, a sense of limitless possibility, untainted by the constraints of experience. As you grow, reason begins to assert itself, teaching you to filter your dreams through the lens of practicality and empirical understanding. However, even as you mature, the capacity for wonder remains a precious and essential part of who you are. It is the bridge that connects your inner world to the mysteries of the cosmos, reminding you that life is not merely a series of logical steps, but also a journey of awe, discovery, and transformation. Embracing the interplay of reason and wonder means recognizing that both forces are essential to a full, vibrant life. It means learning to value the clarity and precision of logical thinking, while also nurturing the curiosity and openness that fuel creativity. It involves cultivating a mindset where doubt and certainty, logic and mystery coexist in a delicate balance, a balance that allows you to adapt to change, to innovate in the face of challenges, and to continually redefine your understanding of the world. In your own journey, you may find that moments of profound insight often arise at the intersection of these two realms. Perhaps you've experienced a breakthrough after a period of deep reflection, where the methodical analysis of a problem was suddenly illuminated by an unexpected spark of creativity. Or maybe you've encountered a personal challenge where rigid adherence to logic left you feeling unfulfilled, only to discover that embracing uncertainty and wonder opened up new paths for healing and growth. These experiences are the proof that the synthesis of reason and wonder can lead to a richer, more meaningful life, a life where every question, every conflict, every contradiction contributes to an ongoing narrative of discovery.